Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I'm calling the meeting to order. Thank you very much for all coming. If you would like to stand, we'll go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we get started, I only have one statement to make. I was called and asked, people said they saw on the internet that we're going to be doing Erin's review tonight, and there was a misunderstanding. So we're actually approving the process in the paperwork tonight. The review will be next Wednesday, October 1st, that we'll be doing her review, okay? And so we'll start with Erica Lau for public comment. Oh, you're gonna, yes.
Hi everyone, do you have a timer going, Jen? Or,
I got it.
All right.
Yeah.
Erica Lowy, 18 Lancaster Drive. Couple quick things. First, I would like to suggest, since we hold ourselves to timers for public comment, to be respectful of time. You always like to assign times for the topics you're discussing. I strongly recommend that you set timers for yourselves, because I know everyone has things to do the next day, not just me, but you all too. Helen's a teacher, lots going on. I think if you could limit yourselves to those time windows, you'd have much more productive conversations, and you might actually get somewhere that you're trying to go, which would be phenomenal, because I think we all want to see that. So that's my first suggestion. The second thing is I have some concerns about first of all, the emphasis on needing to revise and review the director's job description and review form. Like I'm not. That's been on the agenda for months, since December actually, and I'm not sure. And it hasn't been addressed yet, except for going into the subcommittee. But I'm not sure why. There doesn't seem to be much of a justification for that, because there wasn't a dramatic upheaval in library technology or job, the practical applications for being a director. It just suddenly came out of nowhere, and it seems a little hostile, to be perfectly blunt. There's been a lot made about the relationship between the Board of Trustees and the director, and the sense of hostility and strain. This is one of the reasons why. You're focusing on this. You're focusing on personnel, on getting into the nitty-gritty of budget things, rather and drilling down in a way that's unnecessary and full of redundancies, rather than focusing on how can you facilitate a well-functioning, healthy, supported library. And when we have that problem, it erodes public trust in what you're doing. It erodes public confidence that the library is going to continue to be run well, because we worry that the people who are highly qualified and who are highly skilled at their jobs are going to be removed from their positions, or are going to leave their positions because this is an unsustainable environment. Again, I've said this in these meetings before, I have worked for bad bosses. It's awful. People don't quit jobs they love, people quit bosses they dislike. And that is what we are going to get into if this continues. Dude, silence your phone. The other thing I would like to say is, particularly around the review form and job description you have, I have a lot of concerns that the people who put that together are actually unaware of what a library director does. There are things like overseeing programming. That's not the director's job. The director's job is to manage the people who are under her, so that the librarians and staff, so that they can do things like programming. And the reason I'm concerned about that is this has been a persistent theme from this board, is a seeming lack of awareness of what library staff actually do in the day-to-day. And instead of coming in or sitting, or even inviting a staff member to spend 5 minutes saying, hey, can you just give me a rundown of your day so that I can have an idea in a public forum, you ask for specific hour-by-hour, minute-by-minute breakdowns of how they're spending their day. So it's not going to give you an accurate picture, and it doesn't actually increase your comprehension of the work that's being done. So I'm very concerned that what's going to wind up happening today and then next week, okay, thank you, is that you're going to wind up evaluating Erin on characteristics and responsibilities that aren't appropriate or fair to her. Thank you.
Amy?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
If I could just respond quickly.
Yes.
The reason for this was because the reason that we've tried to get this finished was because the RSAs specifically talk about having a contract and having a specific set of requirements, and we don't have a contract, and we don't have that specific set of requirements. So that's why it's been focused. It's not anything to do with hostility. We're just trying to make sure that we straighten out the thing that didn't happen to begin with. So that's why the job description's been there.
I appreciate that. May I respond to the response? I know that the goal is not to have a back and forth, but if we're going to
No.
start
No.
doing that, then.
I will
I just
allow it.
wanted to let you know that we're not just pulling it out of our hat to do it.
I
Okay.
do appreciate
Okay.
that, but
Go.
I would like to reiterate that my point about the
Go.
fact that it does
I'm
not
here.
seem to reflect any input from somebody who actually does this job
Okay.
whatsoever is a concern.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
I'm sorry, Amy.
Sorry, Amy, thank you.
Not to worry. Actually, I think I'm part two, so what you were gonna say. Amy Agostino, 6 Willow Lane, good evening. I'm here tonight hoping very much to be wrong, because looking at the agenda, it seems to me that the board was planning to change the director's job description and the criteria by which she is evaluated, and then use those new criteria, which Director Matlin has never seen, to guide the review of her work for the past year. I do hope I'm wrong, because that would be at best unethical and in reality probably illegal. I mean, Director Matlin is fantastic, but she's not psychic and she shouldn't have to be. If that was the intention, I ask, why? Why would you want to undermine her review like that? If, I've always said this before, if you don't love working to support this library and its staff and its services, why do you do this? I mean, surely you have better things to do with your time. There are plenty of other folks who would gladly put in the time to help the library succeed. I would just like for you to ask yourselves why. Why do you do this? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and Kate?
Hi, Kate Burbridge, 21 Kelly Road. I'm not going to talk about the job description or the rubric because that's already been covered by a couple of people. But really what I wanted to do was to offer my support to the board. I'm the vice chair of the budget committee. I know it's budget season, we're all getting into it. I've already contacted DPW, Chief Bernard and Phil over at the LFD and asking if they need help with the budget. So now I'm offering you my assistance. Since I haven't seen any public notification of a subcommittee meeting on this issue, and per 91A right to know laws, subcommittees are underneath that 91A right to know law, and they need to be publicly notified. So I'm assuming you haven't prepared anything for the budget yet. So I just wanted to offer my assistance. So if you want any help with the budget or anything through this, or if you need more information on right to know laws and the civil penalties of violating 91A laws, I printed out a copy of that right there. That's from the New Hampshire Municipal Association. Lastly, I mentioned in a May meeting that the bylaws didn't have a code of ethics, and it would be a great idea to add that to the bylaws. We're now in almost October, and that has not really been added to the bylaws yet, so this is just kind of a gentle reminder that we thought that was a great idea, and maybe we can get back on that. So, thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Thanks for your offer. Okay. We are going right straight into old business, and the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to look at and approve of Erin's, the director's job description. Okay, yes. I'm sorry, Dan, oh my God.
You forgot him.
Our town council
That's okay.
a liaison, I am
I was
so
hiding
sorry. I'm trying to get out of here tonight before midnight.
Dan Bouchard, your town council liaison. I wanted to let you know that we've got 12 applicants for your alternates. We've interviewed 4 at our last meeting. On October 6th, we're going to be interviewing the other 8. Our meeting will start at 6 o'clock at night. The only other thing is on July 9th on your minutes, on number 407, I would just like some clarification because it says Dan Bouchard claims that trustees are putting out misinformation. The reason I brought that up was because 2 of your board of trustees stated to the town manager, and the chair has also stated to me that my wife works at the library. That's what I brought up, okay? It wasn't misinformation on my end.
Was a bad rumor.
Wow.
that we
No,
recognize,
it's
yeah.
stuff that was stated. It wasn't a
Yeah.
rumor. It was stuff that stated by the trustees,
Mhm.
two of them to town manager. You stated to myself, Liz, that, my wife works at the library. My wife does not work at the library. She's here tonight because she loves the library, and I'm here, to support the library as well. So if you could just clarify that, I'd appreciate that, because
What line
it
number
just
again,
doesn't
Dan?
look right.
What line number again?
Line
407.
407 on the July 9th,
July 9th, line 4, we'll get that,
okay?
yeah. And
Because it just doesn't look good.
Yep.
That's
no,
all.
you know what, I do appreciate that you both came this evening, okay, and that you shared that, and we will clarify it, and I apologize
Thank
that
you.
we misunderstood,
Thank you.
okay?
And we'll let you know how we make out with the alternates.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, now we're going to go into old business. What we're doing is, we're looking at the director's job description. We've had several that we compared with other towns, and Erin gave us a one form of things that she does for her duties, so we would know. And, we had a subcommittee that also put together a list of reviewed things. What the process today is, we have had a subcommittee that just went through it and tried to take the best of everything, okay, type of thing. And we're reviewing it today. The board will be allowed to suggest changes, to suggest additions, to suggest deletions. Okay, this is a policy, so only the board can make suggestions. At the end, before we to vote on it, we would check with the librarians to be sure that nothing was missaid or that it shouldn't, wouldn't be part of the description. Yes,
Madam Chair, may I ask a
Yes.
question? I have some things that I'd like to add to the conversation. It's, if I would be allowed to be involved in that conversation. I don't know if we can refer to this as a policy, it's more of a job description. And then I do have something to say regarding the subcommittee. At the June 4th, 2025 meeting, it was mentioned that there would be a subcommittee and I would be included in that subcommittee. I was not invited to that subcommittee to be involved in the conversation of my job description. So it's disappointing to hear that there was a subcommittee that I was not aware of, yet I was told I would be invited by you, the chair, at that June 4th meeting. Again, at that June 4th meeting, you also said that these new additions of the job description and the review would not be used up for my review this year. So just something to think about. Those things were said by you, the chair. So I'm disappointed that I wasn't involved in that conversation regarding my job description when it was clear that I would have been invited. So I would like to have some input now, if that's possible.
again, I would allow you to go through all of that once we've had the discussion and gone through it, okay? So, but if you have input on things, you absolutely, before we vote, so that you have a say on it.
Okay, thank
Okay?
you.
Yep. And, when was the subcommittee, Christine?
Christie, the previous one?
Yeah, not this one, just.
The actual subcommittee.
The actual subcommittee, yeah. When did you do that? Was that back in June or something?
It was over the summer, I don't remember an exact
Okay,
date.
was it in the summertime?
Last year.
Where did the
December
subcommittee meet?
2024 meeting minutes created the subcommittee.
I'm sorry, say that again?
December 2024 meeting minutes created the subcommittee.
And
Oh.
who was on the subcommittee?
Okay, so it was a different
So-
board that actually that was running it at
And
that time.
according to those minutes, it was Kim, Moira, and Jan.
So did another subcommittee meet recently, after Kim resigned?
Yes, the chair and vice chair.
But Christine prepared some things ahead of time. I thought Christine,
Yeah.
you implied that Christine took over that.
Mm-hmm.
She was the chair of that committee.
Yeah, she was the chair,
No, she wasn't.
and so
She didn't have a
they
meeting
just
recently.
shared with us, and we looked and we just, made adjustments.
And what was the date of that meeting?
December 24th.
Oh, the one most recently. I thought you all just referred to one that was over the summer.
I can't answer that.
It
You
wasn't
have
a
to ask
meeting,
them.
it was just two people meeting, it wasn't a meeting, okay? It was just two people going over it,
Okay.
okay?
Here in the library?
No, it was at my home,
Okay.
but it was just two people, it was so, okay?
Is there a reason that I wasn't included?
Because, again, we feel that it's policies, procedures, et cetera, is really made by the employer, not the employee.
Okay.
It's, okay, and that's the only reason.
Okay.
But we absolutely, we told you you would have input, okay? Yes, Beth?
Moving forward, I would ask that the board creates a calendar where we're writing when the subcommittee meets, have we notified the public? Yes. Who attended, who was invited, and then attach the notes for the subcommittee meetings, because I'm starting to get concerns that we're not all on the same page. I happened to stumble into the library the other day, and 2 board members were meeting on library business, but
We were not meeting on library business.
well,
That's not true.
okay, but it's confusing publicly, it just,
You came in the room and you saw we were doing computer stuff.
it's concerning, and I don't wanna go off topic, but like, we can't remember when people are meeting for a subcommittee, we need to just do better note-taking on that. We just have to have the data to demonstrate who was invited, who attended, what happened, just basic,
So
housekeeping.
If someone needs help on their computer, you want them to notify you that they need
A
help?
lot of, I don't wanna get
That's a
into
little
it, I
ridiculous.
really truly have the floor right now. I don't wanna get into a back and forth, but meetings have happened outside of the circle of awareness, so to be very forthcoming, we should have a calendar, that's all. No
Yeah.
judgment, just a calendar.
I'll get right to you. I just wanna point out,
Yeah.
when you only have 2 people in a discussion, it's not a meeting.
Exactly, but there's a lot of information happening, and subcommittees, if they're going to happen, we should know what the date was and who was there. So I'm just saying, for a housekeeping thing, we
Yeah.
should just have records.
Okay, and so, yeah, we just clarified when it was, and it was only 2 people.
Right,
Jan?
so it's not a subcommittee, so
Yeah.
she didn't get the subcommittee that we had promised her. So I wanna make that, announced, we offered her a subcommittee, we offered her attendance and input, and we didn't give that to her, and we owe it to her, and so we should not be making a vote tonight, because we haven't done the process that we elected to do.
Well, we will be making the vote tonight, and she's being offered to say whatever she would like at that
Just
point,
kinda stick with
before
our
the vote.
own policies.
Jan?
Jan McLaughlin,
Oh, I'm sorry.
we have gotten,
We all have to identify because of the new AI, and I'm the first one that didn't, so, okay.
We all have to, no, that's wrong, Jan McLaughlin. We have received, Erin's, input, electronically. We all received that, I believe in
Yes,
an
yeah.
email from Erin, right? Is that correct?
Yes,
You
that's
sent an
true.
email to all of us.
But I didn't get a chance to review that in
Discuss it
person.
together, yes. So there is input that's happening from a variety of resources, so anyway, that's all, I just wanted to clarify that, thank you.
Okay, all right, so let's go to the policy now, okay? We're gonna start, I guess it's Erin's job description, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the director's job description, okay?
The one that's dated says, as of this date.
Okay,
Liz,
yeah, yes,
is this the document you're using? I just wanna make sure, 'cause
The
there's
one with the
multiple.
red.
the one with, that says draft, it is,
With
yeah, the
ready?
one, the same one, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Draft
you got the
September
one.
25. Is that-
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep, that's the one we're using, yes,
Thank you.
okay. So, the description, okay, we'll start with the summary. It says, under the supervision of the Board of Trustees, serves as the administrative officer of the library, responsible for planning, organizing, directing, and managing all aspects of the library in conformity with the mission, goals, objectives, and policies established by the Board of Trustees with appropriate municipal, state, and federal laws and regulations. Yes,
I'm wondering why we took that in place of the original one that we had on another draft that unfortunately does not have a date. I wish we would start using dates so we could figure out what draft was written when. But we have another one where it had reference to an RSA. It used coherent sentences, like this is just phrases, but it's not a sentence. So I would like to suggest that we go back to the original draft, where it says that the library director, as chief administrative officer, leading our growing library into the ever-changing future. No, that needs revision. The director is responsible for development and implementation of library functions, representing the library and meeting the requirements of the library board of trustees, local, state, and federal government, as well as the citizens of Londonderry. The library director will be retained by and responsible to the board of trustees per RSA 202-A:15. The library director shall be appointed by the board of library trustees for a term of office agreed to at the time of employment. I'm just wondering why we abbreviated it.
Okay, basically, we thought there was some fluff in there that, and we did abbreviate it. Yeah, I mean, it's a job description. It's not, everything that she would do. But at this point, I'm looking for, yes, Jan?
No, didn't want to interrupt, but I just, I know that part of the issue is at the time of employment. Erin's obviously been employed for quite a while, and there wasn't a job description review at that time, so I mean,
I'm just wondering, why we wouldn't just eliminate that one phrase if that was the problematic phrase.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Can you hold that one up so I can just see which one?
yeah, it looks like this.
It's
It says page 1 at the bottom. It says Leach Library Director job description
I
at
think
the
that's
bottom.
the one from Christine.
We have
Yeah.
so many drafts. I
I
felt
know.
like I was chasing
It's been
my
around
tail.
for a while, yeah.
Okay, well,
That's the one from Christine and.
does anyone want to make a motion on either one? Does anyone want to make a motion at this time? Okay, I'll make a motion that we accept the first one that was read off under summary. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Christine seconds. Okay. Conversation?
Yeah, I don't think I have quite enough information on this job summary, so tell me again why it was changed, because I agree, that was far more specific. And this seems like there's a lot missing. So I think that if we're going to have a complete job description, then it should be complete. So would you mind if I asked her to read that again?
Go right ahead. Would you read it one more time?
Yep. Beth Mark. The library director acts as chief administrative officer, leading our growing library into ever-changing future. The director is responsible for development and implementation of library functions representing the library and meeting the requirements of the library board of trustees, local, state, and federal government, as well as the citizens of Londonderry. The library director will be retained by and responsible to the library board of trustees. Per RSA 202-A:15, the library director shall be appointed by the Board of Library Trustees for a term of office agreed to at the time of employment.
Okay, and one of the reasons we did strike that is because at the time, that the RSA has changed since Erin was
Yeah, we
hired.
can switch it.
So
Right.
that was, it was going against the law right now.
We could certainly change the RSA, but I think that this is far more complete.
Okay, I think we've had conversation on this. There's a motion there. We're gonna do a roll call, okay? And the motion was to accept the first one that was read. Does anyone need to hear it again? Or I'll have it, right? Okay. Nancy, roll call?
Was
Yes.
that, seconded by Christine.
Christine seconded,
Alright.
yeah.
Nancy Hendricks, no.
Helen Palmieri, no.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Jan McLaughlin, yes?
Beth Morocco, no.
Maura Ryan, yes.
Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
Okay, it carries, the motion carries, okay? So let's go to minimum qualifications. This was actually taken right off of the original one, I think, but it's a master's degree in library information studies from an accredited college or university, a minimum of 5 years library management experience, including 3 years in a supervisory capacity or equivalent combination of education, at least 2 years experience as an assistant director. Conversation?
Can I just ask for clarification?
Yes.
Beth Morocco, is it supposed to be studies or sciences, or does it get interchanged depending on who you talk to? Do you know?
Am I allowed to?
Yes, she's asking you that
Erin
question.
Matlin, it's supposed to be science.
That's what I thought.
It's a
Okay.
Masters of Information.
We'll make that library information science, okay? We'll make that change. first of all, do we have a nomination to accept this? Yes, Maura?
I have another thing. Since this is just a job description that we may need to use at some point, 20 years from now, whatever, we could put master's degree in library information sciences from an accredited college or university preferred, because in reviewing the job descriptions, especially those who have recently put out descriptions like Derry and Hudson and a couple of other places, they do put preferred as opposed to must be.
Okay.
I would,
I'm a
Madam
little
Chair,
go ahead.
I would prefer, no pun intended, that we keep that as required, because there may be people in the region that don't have the kind of standards that we do, but I like to think that we have high standards at our library, and so from my view, I would like for our director to have a Master's of Library Science.
Liz Thomas, I absolutely agree with you. I think it's, that is when you're running a library and you're the director of a library, you should have that education. And I know some of them say or equivalent, but there, a lot of libraries only have one master's, but at least they have one, the director has a master's, okay? We're very fortunate in this library to have a lot of people with masters, but again, I'm looking for motions that we can vote on. So, if did you want to change that to preferred?
I think it's something we should consider only because it leaves more options. I mean,
Okay.
Hudson has a library director who has 11-year service who only has a DA.
Their library's
It is not that big.
Okay,
It's much smaller.
it's a good
Substantially
point. I
smaller.
think that I'm sorry.
So I just had a question.
What?
May I be recognized?
Yes, go.
Say your name again.
Megan Donovan. If it's for a future job description, if you do have that opening where you would be putting it up, you could change it at that point. I just think it's moved right now to have a lot of discussions. That's all.
Okay, Maura, do you want to make a motion?
I'd be happy to.
Christine?
Okay, Nancy, please make a motion.
Nancy Hendricks, Madam Chair, I make a motion that we accept the minimum qualifications with the change that we say library information sciences, and we accept the qualifications as presented.
Okay, so the only change you're looking for is to change that studies to science.
Correct.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Helen seconds. Okay, I think we've had enough discussion, so Nancy, would you start the roll call?
Nancy Hendricks, yes.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Jan McLaughlin, yes?
Beth Morocco, yes.
Maura Ryan, yes.
Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
There we go. Okay, it passed, okay? So now we're down to the library director must have, okay? And this is a little bit lengthy. Do we want to break it up into just a couple things at a time, or just go for the whole shebang?
I'd like us to be aware that the grammar is off on a lot of them. So it says library director must have, and then if you complete the sentence with some of the bullet notes, it doesn't actually make sense. So we should be mindful of that.
Yeah, the only one is the ability to supervise. That's the only one that wouldn't go with that English
No, there's a couple, but.
that I see. Okay, Jan, go ahead.
Jan McLaughlin, I'd like to make a recommendation that we deal with the way this is set up, in that must-have section, that we discuss that, and we can adjust the grammar as we go here, as we're discussing it, so that we can finally vote on it with grammatical changes if we need that.
Okay, second of that? Someone wants to second that?
Was that a motion?
I can make a motion.
I think that
Oh,
was
I thought it was a
suggestion.
motion.
I'm
Oh,
just
it's a
suggesting how we
suggestion.
go
Oh, if it's
forward.
a suggestion.
That we could actually
Yeah.
change the grammar as we go.
Okay, all right, let's start line by line, okay? Excellent leadership, communications, project management, planning, organizational, and interpersonal skills with proven effectiveness. Comments on that?
No, that's
No? Okay. Must have, yeah, that works. Must have strong technological skills and the ability to leverage cutting-edge technology to keep the library competitive. Everyone okay with that? Okay. Must have the ability to work and communicate effectively with library trustees, elected officials, and community groups.
No, you need a comma behind elected officials.
Comma after what, hon?
Elected officials.
Is that that magical comma we don't have to use anymore?
I'm sorry.
Alright,
What was the comma?
she wants to, after officials, and she wants to capitalize trustees.
Can you point
Yep,
that out?
I got it.
You got it, great,
I
thank
got
you.
it too.
Okay, all right, we got it, thank you. Okay, must have the ability to supervise and motivate library staff and volunteers and to communicate their needs and concerns to the board. Questions? No? Okay, we'll go on. Must have the ability to advise on employee performance for board approval. Okay, that would be I would say the correction. Must have the ability to advise on, does that make sense?
No.
No?
May I make a
Yeah,
suggestion?
that sounds more like a responsibility.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that sounds like it
Yeah,
belongs in
that needs to
responsibility.
go someplace else.
Okay, what do you think? Do you think we should just remove that section, that
Why
one?
don't you say something like, discernment or decision-making ability or something of that nature?
Yeah, something. I mean, there's things down here in the management responsibilities. If it's not in the Jan McLaughlin.
And that one,
If it's not in the management responsibilities about, dealing with their employees, I'm sure it is. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure I saw it there too.
how about if we just move that right down to the major duties and responsibilities? Okay, you like that? Everyone going with that?
Yes, that works.
Okay, we're moving that right down to the next section, okay? That would be the proper place for it to be. Okay. And must have, again, that's gonna stick us, advises on employee performance for board approval. So do we wanna move that under the duties and responsibilities also?
That's the one we were just talking about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's the one we were talking about.
Oh, I thought we were talking about ability to supervise and
No.
motivate. Okay, all right, we've moved that one down, sorry. Okay, all right. Must have the experience in seeking and obtaining philanthropic and public funding. Everyone's good with that?
I don't agree with that, but I don't think that's necessary.
Okay.
So I would make a motion to remove that.
That's actually comes, I believe, right from the New Hampshire.
Okay, cause I thought we discussed before about this
Yeah.
idea of that we have to
No, we
for
can make a
certified
motion,
grants.
we can make a motion and vote on it. I'm gonna mention, I believe that
Okay.
came straight from the New Hampshire trustees, thing. But make a motion.
I guess it feels strongly worded than must have experience in those
Okay.
things. That feels strongly worded to me, but I'm open to other
You know what?
interpretations of it.
What
how
change
about
would
if
you like
we-
to make?
I'm trying,
How about if we move that experience in seeking to right down to major duties and responsibilities? No, you don't want it there, you want it here.
It's, so essentially because they help with the Friends group, I think that this is a necessary facet.
Could we ask for input
that
from our
feels
director?
coded for something else.
I'm sorry,
Could we
Samantha?
ask for input from our director? She would know if that's something that
Would
directors.
you like to, address that?
If the chair would
Yes,
entertain that?
yes.
Sure. So in this whole section, I would ask that so do you want just my advice on that one line?
Right now, yeah.
Okay, so I would ask that not be under library director must have. And I simply sit in meetings regarding the Friends groups. I assist them in any, if they have questions regarding any fundraising that they wanna do, or if they'd like to do something in the library as far as sponsor a program, things like that. I don't really get involved in the Friends group too much. So I don't think it's necessary. I would agree with Helen to remove it.
Okay, I would like to point out that a major duty of the director of a library is to go out seeking grants and seeking philanthropic donations and stuff. That's part of the director's job, to bring in revenue into the
I don't necessarily think that's true. I don't, we
But it
disagreed
does,
about this before,
I would
but-
say in the major duties and responsibilities, there is a line that says
Mhm.
responsible for acquiring grants available
Yeah.
to enhance all aspects
Correct,
of
it's
library
covered
services. So it's duplicate of what you're saying, and I think it would be nice if someone had that experience, but I don't think it's necessary as a must-have, if you ask me. And since it's already said in the major duties, it seems repetitive.
I think you're correct. I think that it's something that, if they have it, great, but if they don't, it shouldn't eliminate, because they should, as a director and as someone with a master's, they should have the ability to easily,
Well, it could
learn
be-
how to or seek help with getting grants and stuff.
Right, Erin Matlin, it could be that at the library that they worked at, that did meet those minimum qualifications, they either couldn't apply for grants or didn't have the ability to do through their municipality. So it does leave for limiting the pool of candidates, in my opinion. But certainly the board can decide otherwise.
Okay. My question to you is curiosity,
Mhm.
okay? During COVID, I thought you were going after and getting grants.
I was not working here during COVID.
Okay, that's right. Yes, yeah. Jen?
Jan McLaughlin, did you finally make a motion? You didn't?
No.
Okay, so I would like to make a motion here to, remove this experience in seeking philanthropic and public funding, as it is listed on the second page, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The eighth dot from, the bottom says responsible for acquiring grants available to enhance all aspect of library services. I think that's covered under, the duties and responsibilities, and I don't think we need to have it in there twice.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
And I'd like a roll call. Nancy?
Nancy Hendricks, yes.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Jan McLaughlin, yes.
Beth Marco, yes.
Maura Ryan, no.
Christine Fitzgerald, no.
Madam Chair?
Yeah.
So as we're moving through this, I don't know when you want to maybe marry a sentence or two, but I would like to add to this, from the other job description, ability to be innovative and visionary leader. And particularly since our library is evolving constantly, I think it's important for the director of our library to, have an understanding and a vision of what's maybe happening in the region, maybe what we're seeing, trends across the state. So I do think that would be an important item to have underneath must-have.
Excuse me, Nancy, could you just repeat that again?
Yes, so under this other one that said draft, we had as a library director must-have the ability to be an innovative and visionary leader. However, under the new one that we just received, that is not as part of her job description, and I think that it should be.
Okay, we have a motion.
I make a motion.
Do I have a
yes.
second?
Second. Beth Marco.
I'm sorry,
Roll
what was the
call?
motion for?
Oh,
Motion
do you need to hear that one more time?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you
Sure.
repeat?
So, in one of the other job descriptions, we have ability to be an innovative and visionary leader.
Okay.
And the one that we just received, that does not include that, and I think that should be brought back in. And so I just made a motion to bring that back into our job description.
Are you putting it under the must-have section or under
Yes,
the
I am.
Okay, alright, that's where I was confused.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, roll
That was-
call.
Yep, Nancy Hendricks, yes.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Jan McLaughlin, yes.
Beth Marco, yes.
Maura Ryan, yes.
Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
Okay. So we're down to the last one, knowledge of nonprofit charitable foundations and experience fundraising. Again, do comments on that one? I think that's pretty much, talks about what we've already talked about,
Yeah.
type of thing. Yes.
Jan McLaughlin, I think that this is related to that other one, and I think that knowledge of charitable foundations, we could leave that there, because it's just saying must have knowledge of that, which I assume they cover in the
To remove that line.
remove that line.
Okay, Maura?
And I disagree, because I think that fundraising has to deal more with individuals and companies as opposed to just companies, because if you're going after grants, that's like a government organization, whereas fundraising could be going to Max Apples and soliciting gift cards. It's more broad.
On that the one that's in the next page, could we, when we're talking about grants and fundraising, can we add that there so it's not repetitive?
Can I ask if we could talk to Erin, because it sounds to me more of a department thing to, like, if you need a program, you know, swag bag thing, you would go,
Right,
you know,
right.
so I feel again like we're missing the input of the person who would have the most understanding of this job description.
I think, seriously, I think that experience in fundraising, you know, we have the friends, they should be looking for grants, okay? I mean, not the librarian, the director should be looking at like federal grants and stuff like that, but doing a little fundraising around, that's something that maybe the friends of the library should be doing.
It depends on what your view of fundraising is.
That's true,
You know,
yeah.
It really depends what your definition of fundraising is. But knowledge of fundraising, or knowledge about fundraising, or it's maybe knowledge of fundraising. I don't know that necessarily need experience with it. They need to at least have experience knowing about fundraising parameters.
Nancy
Hendricks, I would agree, because, fundraising is a thing. I mean, if you go to any large organization, the American Cancer Society, the Alzheimer's Association, the American Heart Association, they have people that do specifically fundraising, and that's all they do. I mean, there's a science behind it. So I would agree that we should say knowledgeable, but I don't necessarily think that I have to have a director that's required to have, extensive experience in fundraising, because I agree with Jan.
So I would like to modify my motion to remove the knowledge of nonprofit charitable foundations, and I would like to change it to knowledge of fundraising.
I would say
Or knowledge of
Working knowledge of?
working knowledge of fundraising.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay, again,
All right.
it's just not grammatical.
Yeah.
Correct.
Must have a
Library must
working
have.
knowledge of
Okay, a working knowledge, okay,
working
yes,
knowledge.
of fundraising.
Fundraising,
Yeah.
that's
Okay, and we have a second on that?
yes.
Nancy, roll call.
Nancy Hendricks, yes.
Liz, I'm sorry.
Is this the one that Nancy and Beth, you seconded originally, or is this something different?
This is
Wait,
a
this
different
is
one. This is
different.
promotion.
We're
Okay.
talking about
Alright,
that
I'm
last
just
line.
trying to keep track of everything for voting
Yeah,
purposes.
that last
Okay,
line.
yep.
Yeah.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Jan McLaughlin, yes.
Beth Marco, yes.
Maura Ryan, yes.
Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
Okay, we're done. Library director must have, the library director, right? Yes,
Hi,
yes.
Beth Morocco. There are a couple more points that were listed on the other draft that were not appearing on the new revised copy, so I just wanted to identify some that I'd like to add back in. One was the,
I'm sorry, Beth,
Yeah,
can you just make a motion to add
Oh,
and then
sure.
say what they are?
yes.
Okay, and then we'll get a second, okay?
Beth Morocco, I would like to add in a few points that were not in the revised draft. One was prepare documents for our bills with appropriate documentation for the treasurer. Is that something, that's something I'd like to discuss and get the input of our director from. Also the point, prepare the town annual report and fulfill any state financial reporting requirements. I'd like to get our director's input on that. And there's another one. Library director maintains a friendly, welcoming atmosphere. Chief information resource, community liaison, and other duties as assigned. But the board it needs help. But the board including but not limited to, those listed below. So I just feel like there's some more points that
And
we're
those are in
missing.
a must-have
So
section?
your motion is to add those 3 items.
To have a conversation about,
Yeah, well, we're gonna have
yeah,
conversations
but they
before we
weren't,
vote.
they didn't appear.
But those, the
as
motion
mentioned.
is to have those 3 added, right?
Yes, with
Okay.
revisions.
Do we have I'm gonna get right to you right now. I just need to know if we have a second.
Nancy?
I was just gonna second it for for discussion,
Okay.
so.
Okay, we're going to
Second.
discussion, Beth, I'm sorry, Jan?
So, my comment is most of those are under the major duties and responsibilities, and I think that's really where they belong. Because I don't know that we can require the library director to have,
Yes.
experience doing the state report. Maybe they came from out of state.
Yeah,
So
and
they might
that
not-
makes,
they might not
that
have
makes
those.
total sense.
So as long as it's down here, so if we could
Okay.
just double check and make
It
sure
wasn't
that it
appearing
isn't.
there, and that's why I had,
Okay, so if we could just
circled it,
double
but
check
yes,
and
we'll
make
come back
sure
to
that
that.
things are actually in the appropriate,
Can you
Um,
confirm that also, Beth, that you're
Yeah.
comfortable that they do
Yeah.
appear in
Would
that
you-
document?
We could amend
yeah,
that and say
we
you'd
could
be
amend,
okay
yeah,
with
I'll
it being
amend that
there.
to make
Okay.
sure that they show up in the major duties and responsibilities. Thank you.
And, okay, and we have a second on that?
I did, but do you wanna rescind that motion?
Oh, the first
Um,
motion?
I wanted them to go into the major
Correct.
duties anyway, so I can
Okay.
rescind it, or I can just say,
I think you should
Make sure.
rescind it.
okay, I'd like to rescind my very long,
Okay, and would you like to now rephrase
sure.
a recommendation?
I'd like to make a motion
Motion, no.
to add a few more points into the major duties and responsibilities, including, the library director maintains a friendly, welcoming atmosphere, chief information resource, community liaison, and other duties as assigned, but the board, including but not limited to those listed below, and I don't know what this below would entail, so that would be helpful. Prepare the town annual report and fulfill any state financial reporting requirements, prepare documents for bills with appropriate documentation for the treasurer. So I would like to open up a discussion. I would definitely like to have the input from the director, so that we could phrase things appropriately, because some of that's.
Okay, Christine?
Christine
Well, wait,
Fitzgerald,
that was a motion.
I need to know if there's gonna be a second for that
I'll
motion.
second that.
Okay, Christine?
Christine Fitzgerald, so you're working off of the previous draft, I see where
Yes.
the 2 bullets, that you said prepare town annual report and prepare documents for bills.
Yep.
But where are the other, I don't see the other bullets, where are they?
A little further up.
Oh, no, okay, I see
yep.
it. So it's basically the last 3 bullets on that first page.
Yeah.
I would say that I feel more comfortable addressing each bullet individually,
Sure.
okay, cause we need to do that. So let's start with the first bullet that you would like to discuss. They're all gonna be part of the motion, and it'll, we'll vote on it as a whole, but we need to discuss it individually.
Yeah.
So
And,
which one would you like to start with?
I think our idea about what the board is going to do, regarding the financial reporting versus what Erin has historically has been doing, I think we're not really matching up. So I wanna get clear on what will be Erin's duties moving forward. Because right now she's doing a ton of work, or historically she's done a ton of work, appearing before the town council, the budget committee, preparing documents. If we are still asking her to do that, which I hope we are because I trust what she's done so far, she's been remarkable, I wanna make sure that we are including that in the job description. So I just wanna figure out how, and that again might take longer than a 3-minute discussion, cause this clearly isn't worded well. We're gonna have to get into it and figure out how to make sure that, and I really wanna hear from Erin. I don't feel like we're giving her enough time to really, reflect on this, cause she does so much, and I don't wanna take it for granted as a board member, cause if I had to take on her responsibilities, I wouldn't sleep at night, because what she does is significant. She does so much with so little. I wanna make sure we're really getting her input.
I do have a concern because I think that, we need to consider the RSAs and,
RSAs don't run a library, so I wanna make sure
Well,
we're
it
talking
doesn't matter, you can't break the law.
Well, it's not breaking the law. I wanna make sure that we're getting our budget to balance and our programs function, because we didn't, forget something because we have no skill, in creating a functional budget. Again, hospitals have boards, the boards don't upturn the budget procedures. They make sure they follow the laws, but they talk to the experts.
Jan?
I think the one that seems to be missing is, provides a welcoming atmosphere, as far as not already being represented in the major duties and responsibilities. We have a sustained, a viable and thriving library, assesses community preferences for library services, but it doesn't get to the welcoming, it's maybe something like with staff, help staff to maintain a welcoming atmosphere or something along those lines. And that might be something that Erin could talk to.
Well, again, Erin, I will get right to you, okay, hon. That is something that's kind of, something like that is understood, but it's not something that you would clarify, that you would put in a document like this, okay? It's just kind of, people call it fluff. It's an understood thing. Of course, your job is to make it all welcoming, It's just understood that. So it's not specifically, you will make it all, you will make it welcoming. That's just understood, she's going to make it welcoming. That's part of a job, type of thing. But, I think again, Erin, would you like to address that?
I would. I do think it's important to have that in there. In the job description that I presented to the board, in the third bullet, it said, which I think we could certainly carry over to this job description, it said, maintain the goodwill of patrons, the public and town officials, and respond to the changing needs of the community, including creating a library environment that is welcoming and inclusive. I think that's a statement that might answer that question, and we can put that under the major duties and responsibilities. To the response of, if you think it's ununderstood, I would agree with you, because I've been in the profession for over 30 years. It should be an understood, but there's a lot of people who get into the profession who are very introverted, and that can be very difficult for them. And depending on the size of the town or your experience in a library, if you have a small town and you only talk to 5 people, sure, there's your experience. But as larger towns and you've got to present in front of town councils and you've got to go to outreach and everything else, I think it is something that might want to be clarified. And for this particular town, during the size and the kind of outreach and opportunities that we would like to invest in, I think it's important that it is mentioned there. That's all.
My personal opinion is that's a much better statement than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
So do you want to read it again?
Sure. It's maintain the goodwill of patrons, the public and town officials, and respond to the changing needs of the community, including creating a library environment that is welcoming and inclusive.
I think if we can get through this quicker if we do one by one. Let's do them one by one, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we can get through this quickly. So yes, Jan?
Could we just finish this one though? I would like to make sure that we, if it's okay with Beth, or maybe we
We can make a new motion.
either make a new motion or change our motion, so that we use the wording that Erin just used from the third bullet number 3 on Erin's list of duties and responsibilities. Add this to the list that we currently have. That starts with maintains the goodwill of patrons, the public, and town officials, and to the end of that.
Okay, is that a motion then?
I would like to make a motion.
Okay,
She's
but
got a motion already.
we need a second on that first,
I have to
and then
drop
we'll
mine.
have a conversation, okay?
She can drop hers.
Huh?
I, Beth Morocco, would like to rescind my, right?
Yeah.
Previous.
Previous.
Like that.
We'll
My
come back, I'm
previous,
sure we'll come back to it. Won't we?
motion on the floor.
Okay, so, do you wanna make a motion then?
And does someone want a second? Well, you made a motion, right, just now. You make a motion to
Yeah.
rescind it.
Yeah.
So
So somebody second it?
I will second it.
If she rescinds it, I think we're all set. I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay.
But,
Okay, so let's go back, let's take those 3 points one by one, I think we can get through this really quick, okay? The one that Aaron, I'm sorry, Maura, you had comment first.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why don't we go through the stuff under major duties and responsibilities, cause there's some stuff that's similar too, because it says sustain a viable and thriving library with a customer focused framework, which is very similar to what
We
the
s-
other
Not the
points is.
same.
And I think we have to get through the stuff that's on the paper first.
Okay, we're having conversation, do you feel that what is on the paper on, you know, on
So you're talking about the draft that we're working on, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I would agree at this time to go through everything on the draft
as
and
long as we
then
get back to that.
get back to things that we wanna add or that's
Right.
missing, because it, like a couple instances so far, we've said, oh, that's already in there at a further bullet down
Right.
the road. So it might be good just to go through this current draft and then come back to what we wanna add or what we feel is missing. I think that would be appropriate if the board agrees.
Okay, in that case, we would need to
Resend another.
resend this, and what we need to do is, if we're adding anything, we need to just vote on removing a line, and then later vote to add a line,
Yeah,
okay?
I think.
Jan,
And I make a motion that we look through the major duties and responsibilities first before we add anything else.
yeah,
And
that's,
then
we're
we deal
gonna
with the
go through
individual
everything.
things.
We're gonna remove lines right now, but we're going through the whole process,
Right.
and then we'll come back and make motions
Right,
to add
so I
lines.
just make a motion to do
That makes sense to everyone?
Second. Yep, as the unofficial timekeeper, I just wanna remind us that we're really running behind on this
Okay.
section. So I
Okay.
do think we should try
Okay.
to move it along.
Move it along.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Okay, so, we are going to remove,
Just go.
I seconded.
I'm sorry, what?
She made a motion, I seconded.
To go with this major duties and responsibilities. So go.
Okay, okay. You got that?
Yeah,
Okay.
do we need to vote on it?
Okay.
We just go through it?
So,
Yeah.
are we, okay, on this section, we're, okay?
Are we on the first one?
There was a motion, then there was a second, of course we gotta vote.
Okay, we're voting just to go through this one
Yes.
bullet.
Yes.
Okay,
Nancy
Nancy.
Yeah.
Hendricks, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Jan McLaughlin, yes.
Beth Monaco, yes.
Laura Ryan, yes.
Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
Okay. So, where are we at?
Okay,
Maintenance
I think we're right at the
management.
top, right?
Okay,
First
right
one.
now,
Right at the
okay.
top.
And we have removed did we remove the knowledge of
Don't worry
non-
about that. We're all past that.
Okay,
We're just at
yeah,
major
yes,
duties and
yeah,
responsibilities.
Okay,
Yeah, we're good.
so maintain and management of the library facility, including electrical, heating, water, and mechanical systems. And Erin certainly had her challenges in the last 12 months, also those issues, I think. So, does anyone have any comments or anything about that? No?
Can we also ask our director, because she would know?
This statement is actually the same one that was in the one that I read.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just,
It
each
came
time
from
we
her,
were
it
asking
came
the
from her.
board, it would be great
It
if we
came,
could get
that's where it came
Okay.
from hers, okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh.
Okay, sustain a viable and thriving library with a customer-focused framework.
Could we change customer to patron?
Patron,
Yep.
Patron's good.
sounds good to me, we don't sell end products here, do we?
Sometimes.
Okay, we're gonna change that to patron, do we better vote on that? Have a, no, we don't need to make a motion, okay, good, all right. Access community preferences for library services and evaluate trends to keep abreast of the needed changes in technique, material, and equipment. Everyone's okay with that? Okay. Direct the daily operation to ensure high quality and cost-effective services, analyze operations and functions, plan, monitor, and prioritize the work of the department heads. I think that came right from your property.
It did.
Yeah, I
In
know.
fact, this entire
from us
section
too,
has
yeah.
come
Yes,
from
I
my
know,
job
yeah.
description.
And, develop and oversee collection development plan, appoint selectors for collection. Everyone
Yes.
okay with that?
Yep.
Okay. Teach, model, and sustain excellent customer service practices, leadership, and supervisory skills.
Switch customer to patron?
Oh, and you wanna change that to patron again, okay? Yeah. Okay, coordinate and supervise interior arrangements of the facility, of the physical facility, access needs and recommend new or replacement purchases, negotiate contracts in condition with the town, interact with the service contractors and vendors for repair and maintenance.
I think that's the same as one.
Okay, everyone's okay with that?
No, I disagree.
What, you
I don't think it's the same.
Oh, no, are you okay with this?
I'm okay with the statement, because
Okay.
it's what was in mine. but-
Yeah, is everyone okay with that? Okay?
Well, Maura,
What?
what were you, your concerns, Maura?
No, I don't have concerns, I just think it's repetitive.
So, are
Should
you
be
okay with that,
combined.
Maura?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, okay,
Starting
good.
with me.
All right. Completes paperwork relating to the hiring and ongoing employment of library staff, including weekly payroll submission. I think that's pretty clear. Yeah, do you have a question?
Jan McLaughlin, I just have concerns from the standpoint that I'm not sure where the line goes where the board, has to approve the hiring. So I don't have any problems with complete paperwork relating to this, but she needs to also then present it to the board, for their, you know.
Erin?
The paperwork that, in my opinion, that this is referencing is the paperwork with like HR, so when they get
Yeah.
hired, it's the standard
It's not a
paperwork.
contract.
It's not,
No.
it's,
To
the
hi-
board has already
yeah.
at this point approved this
Okay.
person.
So they get their health
And
insurance.
this is where like
Yes.
interaction between
Yeah, get them
new
set up
person
as an
and-
employee
exactly,
within the system.
Exactly.
Fine, thank you.
This is after
Okay.
that fact, yeah.
That's what, I thought that too. Okay. Prepares records for annual audit. Okay, you do that now?
Yeah.
Basically, I guess my only, not concern, but when you, I think we need to expand this, cause when you prepare the records for the annual audit, we should review it before it's submitted publicly.
It doesn't get submitted publicly. If the auditor is asking for paperwork or the finance department is asking,
Oh,
I
that's
give
all
it to them.
Oh, okay,
This is not they're not public.
okay,
Unless someone does a 91A, I guess,
Yeah.
but
okay.
this is in my
They're
understanding.
asking you for factual information and
Yes,
you're
this
giving
is
them
coming from
factual
the town
information.
or the auditor and I give
Yeah.
it to them. That's how
Okay.
that is.
All right. Jan?
Jan McLaughlin, I would like to add the statement, in coordination with the board treasurer or something like that, because some of the information, the treasurer has that Erin may not have.
Under normal circumstances, I would probably agree with you, Jan, but we're actually now 5 months behind on financials and treasurer's reports, so I think that I'm comfortable leaving this the way it is.
Okay?
Okay, well, anyway, if anyone wants to make a motion to change that, you should make a motion, okay? Everyone has the right to do that. Do you want to make a motion, Jan?
I wanna make a motion that, to add, in coordination with the town treasurer, with the board treasurer.
Okay. Maura, did you have a question?
I think that we have to separate the stuff for the budget and the trustee accounts. I don't think that Erin should be doing the stuff for the trustee accounts, because that's our job.
That doesn't,
Okay, that's not relative to this bullet point that we're discussing.
It
Well,
is,
it is,
cause the
'cause
audit,
the
the
audit
audit is,
covers that.
covers the accounts.
Yeah, that makes sense, that does make sense. Do you want to, rephrase that nomination, yeah, Jan?
I just think if you put it, in coordination with the board treasurer, then whatever pieces belong to whichever part can be taken care of, whoever that treasurer is, whether it's me or somebody else.
Yeah, I think it's important that the trustee and the treasurer should be working with the, with
But
the director.
specifically around the audit,
Yeah.
we need to make sure we've got all the paperwork.
Yeah.
So if there's anything that's in question.
So it's
we-
a collaboration. Okay, so your statement makes it a collaboration.
That's what I think.
Do I have a second on her statement?
I'll second.
Christine seconds, roll call. Nancy?
Could you say it to me again, Jan?
Prepares records for the annual audit in coordination with the board treasurer.
I don't disagree with that, I just think that it's gotta be timely. That
Mhm.
the treasurer has got to get that information to the director if we're going to charge the director with that responsibility. So if that's something that we can kind of follow up with, then I will say yes. But if it's something that where it's out of our hands, then I'm gonna disagree. So we just have to make sure that she gets that information.
Okay,
in a
that's
timely manner.
understood, that's understood,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Then I would say yes.
Okay.
Helen?
Yes.
Helen Palmieri, yes. If-
Liz Thomas, yes?
Yes.
Jan McLaughlin, yes?
Beth Morocco, no.
Laura Ryan, no.
Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
Okay, motion passed 4-3. Okay?
Two.
And
Two, it is two.
5
So,
to 2.
you
Yep.
have to say, okay.
Yep, yep.
Okay. Continually evaluates the effectiveness of the library programs and services in relation to the changing needs of the community, developing strategies to meet those needs.
Yeah.
Yes, Laura?
I just have a question about this because it's fine to do this, but I think it has to have like with board approval or something of that nature put on here. And I think you have to have something as far as it's fine to develop strategies to meet the needs, but you also have to evaluate and analyze the needs to make sure that you're doing something that's effective.
It
And you
says
also
that.
have to
It says
analyze
evaluate.
what the costs for these
It
things are
says
too, and if
evaluates
they
the
would fit in the budget.
effectiveness of
I'm
the
sorry, Beth,
It's,
please.
it says it right in the.
Doesn't say
But that's for the
analyze.
first part, I'm talking about the second part.
Oh, you're talking about two different bullets.
No, I'm talking about there are two different subjects in the statement.
Oh,
So do you wanna just add evaluate services in relation to the changing needs of the community?
Do you wanna make these two separate bullets? Yes, Jan?
I would recommend just adding continually evaluates, I would just get rid of the continually, I would just put evaluates and analyzes effectiveness of library programs and services in relation to changing needs of the community, developing strategies to meet those needs.
Yeah.
Just so you're just adding, so getting rid of the continually and just putting the evaluates and analyzes.
Starting with this.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay, do we have a second to her motion?
Second, Beth Morocco.
Okay. Roll call?
Nancy Hendricks, yes.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Jan McLaughlin, yes.
Beth Morocco, yes.
Maura Ryan, yes.
Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Okay.
Okay, hang on, I'm.
Good, evaluates.
Yeah. Evaluates in coordination with the staff the future needs for the library services, and the resources to meet those needs.
Yes, that's fine.
That makes sense to me.
Yep.
Everyone okay? All right, good. Responsible for hearing and resolving problems and complaints from library users and the general public.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that.
That's the sad part of the job I don't want.
Yeah, okay. Maintain employee records, including though, but not limited to, time records, payroll, health, and employment benefits. That's, yes?
Jan McLaughlin, I'm not sure if it belongs here, but there needs to be something about protecting the integrity of the records of the library as required by the state RSAs. So, this is fine, I think this is actually
I
accurate.
think you could roll
but I
that
need
right
to make
in
sure
there.
we need to have the information
Yeah.
about that, maybe I've just missed it here. Go ahead.
I think that maybe needs to be rolled right in here. I don't, Maura?
I just had a question as far as, I know Tara Koza does some of this stuff, like the health records. How much are we maintaining and how much is the town maintaining?
She was asking you, so
Yeah,
she
no,
wasn't directing it
would-
toward me.
No, I'm saying, would you?
Sure. So
Weigh in
we
on that?
actually, when the patron is or not patron, excuse me, when the employee is hired, we have paperwork for them to fill out that they submit to the town HR department. But we give them that paperwork, and then that paperwork is also on file in their personnel file in my office. So we help maintain those records, but the overall details and everything else is taken care of through the HR department. Appropriately, it should be, because there's a lot of things, like I don't wanna be aware of their dental, it's none of my business, and they should really go through HR for that kind of information, or things of those nature.
That makes sense to me. Okay, Maura, did that answer the question?
It answers the question. I think with that sort of crossover, it makes it hard to delineate which thing is which, but if you guys wanna go with this, it's fine.
Can I respond to
Did-
what Jan
Go ahead,
had said
yes, go-
earlier,
yeah,
if
please
that's
do
okay?
so. Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
She was talking about, I think what you were talking about was the, confidentiality, is that correct, Jan?
No, I was talking about the, like protecting the minutes and the things that we need to save as a result of, the RSAs. What the, you know, so those items that are required for us to continue, you need to make sure that they don't get shredded and all that
Right,
stuff.
so this is pertaining to employee
Employee
records, but we
I'm
do have
talking
a
about
record.
the library records.
So we have a
that-
record
I
retention
think
policy
we
that
need-
the board approved that
Yes.
we use to do that.
So just that, you know, you would need to make sure that there's nobody shredding in the back room, shredding up all of the minutes.
Nobody does that but me or Donna.
Right, so I'm just saying, yeah, so
Yep.
just the maintaining the integrity of the
We-
The
we
records,
basi-
library records.
not the employee records, but the library records.
Library records.
All of
In
that is
whole.
under that
Yes.
record retention policy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Comments or any questions before I call roll call? Okay, everyone understands what what it's saying, right?
Oh.
Nancy?
No, who,
Oh, what?
What are we voting on?
yeah, who made the
Do
motion?
we need a roll call for
No.
this, or
No.
are we just?
No.
Okay, just go along with it. If
Okay, we're
as long as
accepting it. Okay,
well,
I was doing a roll call to accept it, but that's okay, we don't need to, okay. All right. Maintains, oversees the selection and general collection of books and other items and resources contained in the library, review major selection tools, approve library purchase orders, review books, periodicals, and collections which are outdated or not used, and coordinate removal and disposition. Yes?
I just think we have to add something in here that the board needs to be notified of that, because technically, under the law, the directors, the board of trustees, excuse me, is responsible for all of the assets of the library, so the board would need to know that information as well.
How about if we add just at the end, in coordination with the Board of Trustees? So
Okay.
it meets the RSA, but,
What scope, by what scope, I'm sorry, Megan Donovan, this covers the this is like the collection development policy, which is covered, but like, what's the scope? Everything that is discarded, lost, ordered, that's what this is talking about, so I just, for the scope of it,
You
I
want-
just wanna.
you wanna clarify
clarification.
exactly what it means to the employees, what they
Yes.
need, yes, Dawn, Erin.
Madam Chair, to be able to do what Maura is saying, it would be physically impossible. There are times we're deleting things on a daily basis. Something comes in damaged, we delete it, and then we put in potentially if that person wants to do collection development, reorder that item, that happens. If we have to get a board approval for all of that, it would be a lot. We do have a collection development policy that speaks to this. Really, that's our job, is to evaluate this collection and evaluate all of the things regarding to the collection. That's why we're hired. That's why I have department heads, I have staff that manages certain collections. I have discussions with them, we talk about all of that, that's what we do. I personally, I'm not to offend the board, I don't think this is a board decision.
My opinion is, reading all and researching everything, okay? Collection is the responsibility of the librarian, to keep, it's not a financial thing, you know what I mean? It's like you look at a chair, it's broken, you're gonna get rid of it. You look at a book and the pages are missing, or it's destroyed or damaged, you're gonna get rid of it. It's, go ahead.
Jan McLaughlin, I think that, I won't speak for Director Ryan, but, my,
Director Ryan?
well, whoever
Trustee
she is.
Ryan.
Whoever she is, trustee, there we go. I was looking at the word director.
Oh my God,
there.
she just took
I was
the
looking
job
at the
away.
word director and it just popped in there, but, so, the concern is, not the individual choices about the burnt book or the destroyed
Yeah.
book or whatever else. But, it's the, overall, idea about what is, part of the library, needs to be some communication about, quantities and, so that things aren't just disappearing out the back door or, being removed or whatever.
Hang on.
We're going way past what we're supposed to be doing here.
Yes, and we're never gonna get there, so.
I'm just commenting about what she had said, about the board. It needs to be somehow coordinated with the board. We don't have to be involved with the managing their collection, just that she needs to communicate what's the changes to the
hang on for a
board.
minute.
That's all.
I think that if we said in coordination with the board, that we can have a clear understanding with the director that, example, stuff that's donated into the bookstore belongs to the library, to the trustees.
The library.
To the trustees.
Okay.
I'm sorry. As opposed to things that are in the collection, in the general collection within the library, is the responsibility of the director. Yes.
So can someone give me the exact RSA so I can read it? Because I don't think I'm understanding what we're doing here. What is the RSA on that?
All the RSAs are in the binder.
So can you recall the one that we're looking up so that we can all understand what we're
Liz,
doing?
do you want a cough drop?
Do you want me to get you some water?
I'm gonna this next.
Here's an RSA hand, I carry them now with me at all times.
Liz.
So which one is it, Moira?
What?
It's not me?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you want a cough drop?
Oh, yeah, thank you, yeah. If I die, you have to take over.
I'll give it to you when I stop coughing.
She's gonna do the
Stop coughing.
CPR. She's gonna
Come
give
on, Liz, you can't make it.
She has to make it.
Do I have
This
a
one.
cough drop coming?
Library
Oh, it's
director
there, okay,
oversees the
thank you.
overall governance and management of the public library, including financial oversight, setting policies, and hiring the library director.
I didn't hear the number on that. What is it?
202A.
202A. Powers and duties, I gotcha.
And none of that
Yeah.
covers.
Hold on.
Alternately, we could break it apart as another suggestion.
Madam Chair,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. May I speak?
Yeah.
Erin Matlin, Donna does put in her report items that get added and deleted, every month. But we haven't been able to review those reports, so, I don't know if you guys remember that, but she does put those in her report.
Yeah, I don't really think, this is
You-
like
I
getting
guess
into
I-
the weeds here.
Yeah.
I
The
don't know if
concern
that's
might be
necessary.
that we get the report after they've been disposed of, so.
But what is, I guess, I'm sorry, Madam Chair.
I don't know what the concern is here, okay,
I
so
don't
don't
either.
ask
I
me
don't
what
know
the
what the
concern is.
I guess I'm just confused at my role, because, to be honest, because if the board is gonna be in charge of all of these things, and we can't delete things or add things until the board approves it, what does that process look like? If that's the intention of the board. What is that, so every new book just sits upstairs and waits for the board to come by and look at? But again, what is that, what does this mean? So
Okay.
I'm fine with the
We'll
statement
address-
that it is now, but
we'll
I guess I'm
continue the
looking for
discussion.
guidance from the board
Yes.
exactly what's the
Yes,
intention.
exactly, we'll continue
Thank
the
you.
discussion and let you know.
No, I just wanted to say that that's my concern too, is that we're going to, people here are very concerned with, well, this is what the RSA says and this is what we have to do. But if we take over and do those certain things in that way, everything comes to a grinding halt. And I don't think this group of people is really able to or wants to actually step up and do everything that we would have to do if they weren't doing it. And that's one of my hugest concerns.
Okay, my opinion is, I'm sorry, can I make one statement?
Yeah.
Okay, my opinion is, I think we're talking about the collection right now, are we not talking about the collection?
This
Basically.
is the collection.
Huh?
This does speak to the collection.
I'm saying, yes.
Oh,
and-
okay.
And one of the major jobs of the director is to manage and maintain the collection,
Absolutely.
Right.
you know? So that's actually your job to do that.
Mhm.
So I guess that was my only statement. Okay, go ahead, Jan.
Under 202A:4-C and 202A-D, 202-A:D, 4D, there we go, 4D, there it is. acceptance of personal property and donated items, and trustees' authority to accept and expend gifts. That's all part of that. All I was trying to make sure is that we don't take tables and put them outside and get rid of them without the board of trustees knowing that we've done that. We don't, that's all that we don't remove, 75 cartons of books and get rid of them and now have a big hole. That's all. I'm not saying we have to know about every single book as each one comes in, although they do report them. Here's the number of items we've added, here's the number of items we've subtracted. Just that that's so that there is some coordination, because we're the ones who end up being responsible for the financial liability of any of those items that go away that we didn't know went away. That's all.
So,
We're working right here, right, overseas it all, yeah. Again, I hear everyone's concerns, but again, my overseeing the selection and general collection of the books and the other items and resources, if you just take that by itself, contained in the library, okay, that is the job of the librarian,
that's right.
okay? If you get the next point, review major selection tools, that's the job of the librarian, Approve library purchase orders. Now, again, the librarian has a budget, and as long as these, we're not gonna look at all the books she's gonna purchase, as long as it's maintained in the book collection budget, then they would do that, okay? That, to me, it makes sense. Go ahead, can I just finish this one thing, and then you rebuttal, okay? Okay. Review books, periodicals, and collections which are outdated or not used, and coordinate removal or disposition. The one concern I have about that is when you say when they're outdated, if they're classics, I think they should be maintained. If they're not good condition, I think at some point you should be carrying the classics along with some of the other collections. But let's go ahead, Megan.
Just to clarify, outdated is inaccurate information. It's not classic literature.
Okay.
It's more data that, so like the aerial views of the White Mountains from the 70s is not accurate. You want something more recent, or like a travel guide book from 2001 versus
Things have changed,
2025.
yeah.
So that's what outdated, because information's incorrect. So it's not necessarily classic literature, and it depends on what the collection is and usage.
Erin?
With all due respect, my staff is trained and is aware of how to do collection development. It's something we talk about sometimes on a daily basis. We review it every fiscal year when we get our budget. So I am not concerned at all about this statement, in the fact that we know which books we should keep on the shelf as far as those classics. As to Megan's point, the outdated is, we don't want a Windows book from 1995 on the shelf. That's going to be doing nobody good as they turn on their computer today. So we are very well trained in what's appropriate to remove from the shelves, and we have. That's why part of my librarians, Megan's in charge of the teen selection. She's been in charge of the teen selection, I think, almost since you started. She's well aware of that collection, what goes in and out, what's popular, and that's why we keep people in their same collections, because I know the DVDs. I've been doing the DVDs for 4 years now, so I'm aware of what's in that collection.
That's your expertise,
right?
As
And so
opposed to
that
Megan's
continues. So my
expertise.
staff is very well trained and is very well aware of how to handle their collections. So this does not concern me.
Jan?
Oh, I don't know. Sorry.
None of those, and all of those things are true. The item that we're talking about, or that I was talking about, and maybe it doesn't belong here, but my concern is that there are also an additional piece, the approving library purchase orders. That is true, Erin approves them, but there's also a requirement for us to just sign it or somehow be involved with it, because that's where we have the fiduciary responsibility for the library. But, it's just making sure that there's some coordination with the board somehow, and I don't know how that looks, but, you know, if stuff's not here, and, people are saying that, gee, there's no tables in the front room, then we need to know that, that's all.
Well, this is, to my understanding, this is related to the collection of materials, not like tables and chairs and
Yeah, when they-
computers. This is just collection related. That's my understanding of the statement.
Collection of books.
Right.
That's
Books and other
that's a
items.
whole other.
Right, but
you
other
know,
items meaning library of things, DVDs, books on CD, playaways, puzzles that got checked out. This is related
Library
to
materials.
to library materials specifically, not
Circulating material.
right, not or reference, not necessarily furniture or anything of that nature. That's to my that's where the first bullet came into was the I'm sorry, not the first physical facility assess needs and recommend new replacement purchases. That's where that comes in, and that was the final bullet on the first page. So I think this separates from that, in my understanding.
I personally am comfortable with this. How does the board feel? You're not comfortable, Maura. What are you not comfortable with?
If I were to take this as it is, just to deal with the collection, I'd write, oversee the selection and general collection of books and other items and resources contained in the library, review selection tools, review books, periodicals, and collections which are outdated or not used, and I'd leave it at that.
Get rid of the approved purchase orders.
So remove the approved library purchase orders?
Mhm.
Well,
Are
wait a
you
minute, why
com-
would we do that?
Huh?
Why would we do that?
Because we have to play a role in that too. We have to know what's going on.
Well, she reports to us anyway.
How many times do we have to ask for contracts,
so-
Nancy?
I'm sorry?
Once, Moira, once. We've
No,
got,
No,
That's not
that's
accurate.
and
Okay,
we've
let's
been
get back
getting
on
them.
track.
So my point is that this is part of her job. So I she issues purchase orders. I don't have any trouble with this, Madam Chair.
I think as far, okay, my opinion is, again, her job is to purchase books. They have the expertise to choose what books they should be, that the people need.
I don't think
And
anyone's questioning that part though.
I'm sorry, what?
No one's questioning that part.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was approved library purchase orders. That's where purchase orders for books.
But there's purchase orders that are not for books
This
also.
this bullet is specifically for books and collection.
Okay, you know what?
It's
If that's your concern, all we do is we add approved library, the book collections purchase orders.
Or circulated materials purchase orders.
No, because we buy things for reference and things that don't circulate.
So,
That could be databases, it could be.
I guess just leave it the way it's there, but
but
that's
wouldn't
the
that be
concern.
considered databases and stuff, that's not part of the book
Mm-mm.
collection?
Mhm.
I think that we should note
It
the
is?
concern, Madam Chair.
I'm sorry, I just asked her a question.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Okay, go right ahead.
I'm sorry. I think that we should note Jan's concern,
Yeah.
and be mindful of it, but I agree with you, I think this is fine.
Okay, and she did say that the databases and all of that other stuff is part of the book collection, which I believe it is. Anything you're circulating stuff, of course, you got games and stuff that not really book collection, but they can be, would probably, melded into that, that's where they fall
Well,
in.
library collections have changed over the
Yeah,
years, so
yeah,
there's a
it's
lot
not
more
just a
that's,
book.
right, there's a lot more going out
Yeah.
than just books nowadays, so, which is wonderful, which is fantastic.
Shouldn't we just maybe say library collections rather than book collections?
Well, it says
Says
books and other items.
And yeah,
Resource.
books
Yeah,
and
yeah.
other items, okay. All right, do we have a motion on the floor yet? Just keep going.
I make a motion, well, I want it just the way it is. And I'm concerned that we're at almost an hour and a
Yes,
half
I know.
and we're still on
Yeah.
this.
If you're making a motion to accept this the
Do
way
I
it is,
have a
then
second?
I make the
You
motion to accept the
okay,
vote the way
Nancy
it is.
seconded it, roll call.
Nancy Hendricks, yes.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Jan McLaughlin, no?
Beth Morocco, yes.
Laura Ryan, no.
Christine Fitzgerald, no.
It carried.
I carry.
Okay. Maintain current knowledge of public library services and trends through reading appropriate literature and attendance at approved conference, seminars, and other professional development programs. I personally would like to remove that. I think that,
Why?
what? It's too broad. I think it's too broad. I think that,
You don't want our director to attend programs?
I don't want our director off campus half the week, okay? That's what I don't want, okay?
Has she
Um,
ever been on
Could we ask the
conference?
director how many times she goes to a conference?
I don't believe the director's ever been off the campus half the week. Has she? Have you ever been off the campus half the week?
No.
Okay.
Not even six.
I attend,
Go ahead.
I attend meetings and conferences that are appropriate for my position.
Okay,
Yeah.
but these meetings, like the Gmails, how often do you meet with Gmails?
Once a month,
Once a month, and that's it?
unless there's a special thing that's happening or thing to discuss, but generally it's once a month.
Okay,
She goes to meetings in town with the town council.
I meet
Like
with the
you
town
don't-
manager
like
once a
budget
month,
season.
I meet with my staff, not even once a month, that would be great, but that doesn't happen. Once every 3 months if we're lucky. I go to other, ULAC is I believe once a month, if not bi-monthly, but Friends Group is once a month. Those are all meetings that I should be attending to be informed of what's happening with New Hampshire libraries, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I'm okay with this.
Jen?
I would just, cut it off at, blah, 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 blah. Maintains current knowledge of public library services and trends, period. I don't know. I mean, all those things have to
Yeah.
happen in order to do that. That's all.
Yeah.
I just think it's.
But why abridge it if we don't need to? Like, it's not gonna
Okay.
waste ink.
Is the expectation that I don't then attend conferences, or is that just,
I
it's
just
a
think,
given?
I just think it's, I don't think it needs to be
Included.
stated as that way. It seems it's just extra stuff. But, that's my point.
Okay, would you like to make a motion to,
Sure, I'd like to make a motion that this bullet say, maintain current, knowledge of public library services and trends. And then, Erin as a, MLS, person and someone with as much experience as she has can figure out what that is, to do that.
okay, second on that, anyone?
I'll second.
Christine's gonna second, roll call, Nancy?
Can we discuss?
We need to discuss.
I'm sorry, okay,
So,
well, I thought we were
I
discussing.
would like to say that this job description is for me, yes, as I'm in my current role, but if you were to hire someone new, that it would be appropriate to keep all those other things in there so that that new person would understand their responsibilities.
Correct, that would be.
I totally get what you're saying, Jan, as I'm in the role already, I get it, I understand it, but if this job description were to be for, say, after October 1st, then the new person would have to be aware of those expectations, I guess you
We
could
don't
say.
want them to say, I read the monthly newsletter for NHLTA, you know,
No.
like, we want them to be performing.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
we also don't want a director of the library to say, well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to that town meeting, or I'm not going to that meeting because it's not in my job description. So I think it should be in our job description.
Liz?
I personally, go ahead.
Sorry,
Christine.
Christine Fitzgerald. It says attendance at approved conferences. Who's approving them? I mean, it's in there, but, I mean, where does approved fit in?
Let's dump approved.
You know what? I agree. I think that I think that the board should approve, you know, the conference seminars and development programs that the director would attend. Because, you know, just so that we know, you know, what's happening and when she's on campus and not, that type of thing. So, you know, I think that, you know, I think that through reading appropriate literature is kind of like ridiculous, you know?
No, there is literature to be read.
Okay,
I mean, I don't think that's, I don't
do
think
we
that's
have
right.
we have an open motion, right, here?
Yeah, I think the motion is to, did we already do that one?
There is no motion.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
I think, I seriously
There was
think
a
we should,
motion here
the
to
motion
end
should
it after
remain,
services.
that, I mean, that we should retain that, okay? And it does say, you know, approved.
Services and trends. yeah.
Okay, so that's the consideration, you know, but again, I thought Jan, you already made a motion, you have to resend it, that, right?
No, well, didn't we already vote for, well, no, we didn't. Maintain current knowledge of, didn't we go past this?
No, you wanted to
we already
leave it
discussed
after the
it.
first,
Oh, right,
after
we
the
had to
first
discuss
sentence.
it, library services and
Yeah.
trends, that was leaving it there, that
Yeah.
was it, okay.
And I prefer to leave it as is. Everyone okay with that?
Everyone else is,
Okay,
yeah.
good. Responsible for acquiring.
Wait, hold it, we still have to vote on this. There's a motion on the table to
No, you just said if you make no change to it, we're not making any change to it.
But she has a motion
Oh.
to make
There's
the
a
change.
motion
Oh,
that
okay, I
says-
thought you rescinded it, no?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
So there's a motion that says, so the motion is to maintain current knowledge of public library services and trends, period. So that's what I had made a motion for, and Christine, I do
Christine
believe,
seconded that.
seconded it.
Okay.
And then we discussed it, and so now we need to vote. So if you vote in the affirmative, you're voting to make the stop at the end of trends. If you are voting against that, then you would vote no.
Nancy Hendricks, no.
Helen Palmieri, no.
Liz Thomas, no.
Jan McLaughlin, yes?
Rocco, no.
Maura Ryan, no. Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
Okay, so it failed, the motion
Correct.
failed, okay? Next one, responsible for acquiring grants available to enhance all aspects of library services.
I think we already spoke to that one.
Mhm.
You were fine with that, okay. Drafts proposed annual operating budget for the trustees to consider, evaluate, adjust, and submit. I'm fine with that. Nope, you're not?
That's in direct conflict with the RSA.
Isn't that the
Mm.
what does the RSA say?
The RSA says the trustees have to draft the budget.
So I don't bring anything to the board?
No, it doesn't say that. It just says that the RSA says that the responsibility rests with the trustees, that's all. Doesn't mean that
Well,
you
couldn't
can't-
it still rest with the trustees if I bring a proposed
Yeah.
budget?
100%.
I encourage
Like,
it.
I'm not bringing it to the town, I'm bringing it to the board could say no, and then they'll do their own thing,
Right.
that's fine. But wouldn't,
That's the
I'm
hope.
comfortable with that because quite frankly, the director knows, you know, basically, you know, what areas they need to, you know, have funding in, okay? We, as trustees, we need to oversee it and say, the budget's too high, you're gonna have to cut somewhere.
certainly, yeah.
You go back and come back to us with some.
Or the board could have input on this,
Right.
yeah.
You know, so the
Agreed.
board should have input and should send you back to the table if it doesn't fit, okay? But, as far as, I do believe that the final draft will come from the board,
Mhm.
okay? The final draft comes from the board, and we have to approve the final draft.
Yeah, the board will
But-
vote on it.
It's up to the, you know, the director should actually, you know, say, these are the things that we like to have, and then we decide if it's doable or not, if we're gonna agree with it. That's the way I think it should run.
I agree.
Liz?
Yes.
Christine Fitzgerald, can we add to the end of that, adjust and submit to the Board of Trustees? So it's,
Well, it says for the trustees in the middle, so do you
Right.
take that out? Drafts proposed annual operating budget to consider, evaluate, adjust, and submit to the board of trustees, is that?
That's redundant.
right, I'd like to add it to the end.
Can you just rephrase that?
I would like to add it to the end because, that way I don't know, to me it seems like it covers, you know, to submit to the Board of Trustees.
versus
Instead of-
for the trustees.
Right,
Okay, can you one more time?
So it would be drafts proposed, annual budget, operating budget.
Both prepositions, 2 or 4, which one would
To
you
be
want?
considered, evaluated, adjusted, and submitted to the trustees. It's just,
Yeah, I don't know.
I think your concern, if I'm correct, some of the people's concerns is they wanna make sure that the final decision in the who submits it and is responsible for it would be the board.
Mhm.
Is that correct? Is that,
Yeah.
Laura?
Well, if you wanted to do something of this nature, I think you could put something of works in collaboration with the board
To develop.
to develop a budget.
You have nothing to work off of if Erin doesn't submit a budget.
We do have things to work off.
Yeah,
of.
oh,
We have,
yeah. No,
we
we
have
have-
the previous years.
But Erin is working with the day-to-day understanding of what happens under this roof every day.
Okay, I'm
Laura's
sorry, I
suggestion.
appreciate that comment, but I think we need to continue, there was a
I like
conversation.
Laura's suggestion.
Yeah, okay,
Can it
so, Maura, how would you like to phrase that, if you wanna make a motion?
So I would say to change it and simplify it, I would say we change it to works in collaboration with the board to draft a budget.
Anyone have a problem with that? Erin's thinking, I can see the wheels turning.
I think this statement says something very similar, so,
I think it's
but
it's
the
just
board can certainly decide.
restating what's already there, so I'm fine with what's written.
Yes, I'm
Just-
sorry, Jan.
Just, so for this year, what we are doing is the budget, we're making a suggestion, giving it to Erin to look at the suggestions, having her add her things together, and then we put it together and go to the budget committee. That's what
Town manager.
right, to the town manager, sorry.
But we should be having the final decision.
We are?
Traditionally, are you saying that's what traditionally has been happening, or
No,
that's?
I'm
No,
saying
she's
that's
just
what
saying
we're
this
having
year
to
what
do.
you're
This year. So I'm not submitting anything to the board? Cause I've been working on one.
No, she
No.
said you.
Oh,
no,
I'm sorry.
We do
Yeah,
it
no,
together.
she said she's gonna, we put together something.
You put
and-
together.
and you
it
put together, and
Okay.
you compare them,
I
and you make it work.
misunderstood, I apologize.
Okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
The
And going back to, it is a collaboration.
the RSA, 202-A:11, powers and duties of the Board of Trustees. Prepare an annual budget indicating what support and maintenance of a free public library will be required out of public funds for submission to the appropriate agency of the municipality. A separate budget request shall be submitted for new construction, capital improvement of the existing library property. That's bullet number 2 in that section.
So based on that, how would you phrase this paragraph?
I don't know. But
Oh.
just the Board of Trustees is the one charged with the operating budget. That's all. It's not saying that Erin's not involved with it. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
and again, it says the trustees will consider her sample or her suggested, evaluate, adjust, and submit it, so that it is the trustees that are actually submitting it. Stop, Beth.
I feel like every time we work to micromanage this a little bit, it takes 30 more minutes of our time. This is just a job description of what Erin does. We obviously, as a board, will
Or
have our
whoever
own.
else, if we
Right,
ever hire
right.
someone.
It's just the
it's
director's
just-
thing, so obviously the board will have its influence on a lot of these, but we're just saying our directors should be able to A, B, C, D, E. So we're just hemming and hawing over something that it isn't what we're looking from the director for. And we should really just be looking for statements on director does A, B, C, D.
There you go,
Maura.
what she said.
Question for Jan. Just to clarify, are you suggesting that we strike it, or do you wanna change it?
I think if you move it, if you just make the change that moves to the Board of Trustees, I'm fine with that. So, drafts a proposed annual operating budget for the board, I don't know, for the board to consider, I don't know, whatever, maybe it's to the Board of Trustees, I don't know.
Well,
But
that's what it says now, it says drafts
it
proposed.
says for, so it's, that, Aaron would be doing it for us, I don't know, it just seems odd the way it's worded,
So basically, it's basically the way it's written today is, we don't really do any work, the board doesn't do any work on the budget,
that's what it says right now.
right?
If we
But
just simplify it and use what Laura said, I think it would be fine.
I'm sorry, say that.
I think if we simplify it and just list what Maura suggested of works in collaboration with the board to draft a budget would cover it all, and it's just simplifying the bullet.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with that. Yes, I know, you have a question, go ahead.
May I be recognized?
Yes.
Megan Donovan. As it stands, it's preparing a draft that you, the board, will look at for consideration, let me back the wording now. For consideration, evaluation, and just submit. So you guys are still doing all the work, and this statement does not preclude that statement because you're still preparing the final budget. So the RSA, sorry, I have the RSA up on the screen.
Yeah.
The RSA, you were still preparing the final budget, so this does not preclude that, and it really does say the same thing, because it says for the trustees, and you will then take it, and you will make the final decision on it, so that's what it says. So I think it's just a matter of
Yeah, and it does say
rewording, it's not going to change the meaning, it's gonna mean the same thing. It's still the same meaning, and if it's what you're trying to say, that's all I was trying to.
I like the thought, though, that we at the end, that we just say, the trustees will submit the final, their final budget.
But that's not part of her job description.
Oh my God, it says
Yeah.
it right there,
Unless
just
it's
submit.
collaboration would be the only thing that would be different.
Let's make the motion, someone made a motion for
Yeah, I'll make
collaboration.
the motion.
Maura? Yeah, Christine, go ahead.
I'll make a motion, to strike that bullet and to put in works in collaboration with the Board of Trustees to draft a budget.
Second, anyone?
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call. Nancy?
Nancy Hendricks, no.
Helen Palmieri, no.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Jan McLaughlin, yes.
Beth Markle, no.
Maura Ryan, yes.
Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
Okay, the motion carries.
Christine, would you mind reading your thing again? I didn't catch it all. I just want to make sure I have it written down right.
Works in collaboration with the Board of Trustees to draft the budget.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Provides monthly management, financial, and planning reports to the board to assist in short-term and long-term priorities and implementation. Anyone have any comments on that?
I'm fine with that.
No? Everyone okay? All right, let's move on. Keeps the board informed on new developments and information reported by the NH State Library and other sources. I think that sounds fine. Everyone okay with that?
Yep.
Okay. Maintains membership in professional organizations such as NHLA, NELA, and ALA.
Fine.
That's kind of, I guess, I mean, it's kind of like, if you're a librarian and a director, you're gonna, whether it's on your job description or not, you're gonna probably, you know, have a membership with those groups anyway. But I don't see any harm in having it there. Does anyone else?
No.
Okay, then we're all set. Okay. Collaborates with the Friends of the Library. I'm sorry, I missed something. Files annual
Yep.
statistical report with the state library.
Yep.
Are we okay that we don't oversee or see the statistics? We're not talking money here, we're talking stats.
It's statistics.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, cause the RSA's cover financial reporting.
Yep, this is just.
Okay. All right. Collaborates with the Friends of the Leach Library to foster a strong relationship and support the library services and programs. Everyone okay with that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and perform other duties as required.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is there, Something quick and specific that you wanted to address?
Yep.
Okay.
So in the first paragraph, I don't think it's necessary to capitalize municipal, state, or federal, but if the board wants to do that, that's fine. These are just my suggestions and things that I noticed.
Okay, we
So-
gotta go one by one then, okay.
I mean,
You can't give us 10 things and.
no, it's just,
Yeah.
if you wanna do that, discuss that, that's fine, or you want me to read through, whatever the board
Yeah,
wants to do.
okay,
So the last sentence where it says municipal, state, and federal, if, just that, I don't know if it's necessary to capitalize them, but if that's what the board wants for the job description, that's fine.
yeah, basic to me, it's just saying, we have to apply, we have to follow the law, the New Hampshire labor laws, the RSAs, so I don't have a problem with this, cause, yeah, I mean,
We're just talking about the
The
capitalize or
Do we
not.
have, this feels like a,
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Capitalize or not, she's just commenting that it wants to be not capitalized.
she thinks they should not be capitalized.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Oh, yeah. I don't care if it's capitalized. Does anyone else care if it's
No.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought you just
No,
said-
I think it should stay in there, clearly, but
Yeah,
I just
okay.
didn't think to.
Okay, good. All right. We're
The other
fine with
thing
that.
I mentioned was under minimum qualifications, you mentioned master's degree in library information science, which we changed from an accredited, I think it should be ALA accredited. There have been times where, in my experience, where, the certificate was not, acknowledged if it was not from an ALA accredited, university or college. So I think it should mention ALA in there so from an ALA accredited college or university, which speaks to the American Library Association.
I'm fine with that. Well, if it's a master's degree in library information. I know there's a lot of libraries that have people with master's degrees in education and stuff as the director.
Well, there are a lot of colleges and universities that are not accredited.
Yeah.
So you can get your master's in library and information science without it being accredited, which could affect job,
But we're
inquiries, I
not
guess.
taking out from an accredited
No,
college.
I wanna add ALA.
ALA accredited.
Oh, okay, yeah. Does anyone have a problem with that? No? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I do think where it says library director must have, I don't have a problem necessarily with it, it just sounds weird, it sounds very like, I don't know, kind of odd, but maybe instead just put knowledge, ability, and skill, cause that's what you're speaking to, you're speaking to abilities, you're speaking to specific skills that these people must have, or person, so I think
What if we changed library director should have, shall have?
I'm just adding my suggestion, but
Yeah.
if the board wants to keep it the same or change it to shall, that's up to the board. My suggestion was just for knowledge, ability, and skill, but,
Just like we have major duties
Yeah.
and responsibilities, just
So
to
you would
list
have removed
different-
this whole section and just put that one?
no, I would
No.
remove where it says library director must have and instead put knowledge, ability, and skill. Cause you're already speaking to the
Oh.
director, you're already speaking that it's
Yeah.
a director
Knowledge,
position,
comma, ability.
and skill.
And skills.
Yep.
I'm fine with that. Everyone fine with that? Okay, we'll make that change. Next.
As far as going, the second bullet, it speaks to the technology, skills, and ability. I guess I would need an explanation after this is approved, being that I will have to follow this job description, what leverage cutting edge technology means. What's that I don't understand that expectation, so I would ask after this is approved, if that stays in there, to explain to me what that means.
Okay. May I make?
Of course,
So-
you're the chair.
Okay. What it means is Jan has now gone out and found a product that will actually, an AI product, that will, instead of having someone have to write all the minutes, will automatically produce the minutes of the meeting. Okay, that's the cutting edge technology.
But that's for the
But-
board.
No, but I'm saying that's
Oh,
what
okay.
a cutting edge
Okay, gotcha,
technology for it would be. So if you guys, in your professional reading, see things that are now available that would make the jobs much easier, make it, streamline things, anything like that, that's what it means.
Okay.
That you would keep on top of the trends
Gotcha.
and suggest to the board if you find things that could be cost saving or anything like
Okay,
that.
that makes
Does that
sense.
make sense?
Yep.
Everyone agree with that
Yeah.
statement?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
next.
Yeah. Okay, so, and then on, I think that was it for this. I did curious who came up with this draft. I'm curious who came together for this draft. 'Cause it's just, a lot of this, like all the
It's a
green
combination,
highlighted
yes.
is all the green highlighted from mine.
Right.
And I'm curious why mine wasn't even, why not just go with mine, but neither here nor there. I would also ask the board that to put back in the physical requirements, there's no physical requirements on this job description, and there are physical requirements in this job. Setting up
Anyone have any
tables,
problem with
pushing
that?
carts, so it's the physical
Yeah,
requirements
would you
from
just,
mine.
would you go ahead?
Sure, I can read it, well, I
Yeah.
mean, certainly, it's in the job description that I
Yeah.
submitted, but it says physical requirements, minimal physical effort is required to perform most duties. The employee is frequently required to stand, crouch, walk, sit, speak, hear, use hands to operate equipment, and reach with hands and arms. The ability to push and pull carts weighing 250 pounds or more is required, as well as lifting and carrying up 20 pounds of books. The employee also frequently assists in moving tables, chairs for program setup and cleanup. Vision requirements include the ability to read routine documents and use a computer, must be willing to travel to meetings and conferences. So, there is physical requirements for this job, so that's all.
Okay, Jen?
My concern is, are we not, is it impossible for someone in a wheelchair to do to many of those things, and would that disqualify that person from being a director here? Because they couldn't physically themselves do all of those things.
Yeah, because you have a staff that, you have a staff that you direct what their activities are. So the things that would be physically unable for a director to do, then she or he would assign that as a task out, but.
I think if someone's applying for this position, they should be aware that there are some, I'm not saying that whole paragraph, but there are some physical requirements.
Yeah, I'm not happy
that
with that
distinguish.
last line. What's that last line? It's traveling to.
To travel, yeah, because then you have your own vehicle, you have to be able to get to meetings and things and conferences if approved, and you have to have your own vehicle or find way of transportation.
Okay, last line, say that one more time.
Must be willing to travel to meetings and conferences.
To approved meetings and conferences.
It doesn't say approved, but
No,
it
I
says
would like
approved in
to
the
add
job
that.
description.
That's what I would like to add.
Well, that's fine, I
to
mean, but
approved.
there's no physical requirements in the job
Yes,
description right
yeah.
now, so I think something should be added to
Yeah.
speak to that.
Okay, questions?
Just if
Laura,
you're
again?
attending them, I assume you have to get there.
You're gonna put approved in.
Right.
Are you awake?
Yeah.
Barely, right? Go ahead, Mara.
So I just want to second what Jan said. I think that if somebody had a disability, it would discourage them from applying, and I don't think that's right.
Beth?
I work as a teacher, and my job requires me to be able to do certain things physically. And some days it really hurts because my body's starting to break down. But if we were going to hire a director, we would need to understand that somebody is going to have to perform those tasks, right? So I feel like the job requirements are there because it is a physical task. I can't be a lineman because I can't be crawling up into the treetops. Some jobs are just going to have a physical component to it. If we want to take an application for somebody who has some limitations physically, I think we as a board could say, are we able to
We could waiver.
are we able to
Yeah.
kind of coordinate with the
Yeah.
teams so that obviously that could be met, but we can't make those jobs go away. We would have to divvy them out.
So
they
you're
should be
trying-
aware that there's,
You're trying to set a standard that normally they should be able to do all of this.
Those jobs
But
have to get done
we would,
by a director, and if not by the director, we're gonna
Yeah.
have to figure that out, because those are tasks.
Jan?
Just having been in the position of being someone who lost the ability to drive and lost the ability to do some of those things for a number of years, that this would prohibit me from doing like any job if all of the requirements, I mean, we had this issue when we talked about the job descriptions on the other ones. I mean, we can have a thing saying about the equal opportunity, but, when we, say that every director would have to be able to push or pull carts of 250 pounds, the reality is, I wouldn't be pushing or pulling 250 pounds currently. So, that's something that I wouldn't be able to do, regardless. And I'm not sure that that's really in need with all the other things that we want this person to do. We're worried about their brain power, not their brawn power. And so a lot of disabled people get eliminated from jobs because they can't fit the physical requirements. So I worry that we set physical requirements that would keep people who have disabilities from being able to apply.
One suggestion I have is that as far as the traveling, must have the ability to go to attend.
Mhm.
And it's up to them then to find their own way.
Yeah.
But we don't say, it's like, you don't have to be able to drive to do
No, it
this.
just says
No,
willing to.
it must be willing to travel.
Yeah.
Not, finding your own way of travel is up to you.
Exactly.
Because there's a conference you may have to fly to,
Yes,
not
yeah.
necessarily drive to. So, but I mean, I'm not saying that whole paragraph, but I would like the board to consider putting in something related to physical requirements, and certainly you can add the words that we did before with the equal opportunity employer. I think that's fine. But I think anyone applying for this job must be aware that there are some physical
Yeah,
aspects of this
challenges.
job,
Yeah.
right? And that's part of the job. That's what it is.
Jan, would you like to just remove that section of the 250-pound weight? or
No,
something?
I worry about the way the physical requirements are listed, that it only states, it's indicating that the only people that could do this job would be ones that are physically able
Young.
to do all of those things,
Yeah.
and that I think that there are a lot of folks, I've even known of a library director in the past who was blind and used a piece of equipment that read everything that he needed to see. And this was in the years gone by when it was a big separate piece of equipment. But he was perfectly capable of doing all those other things, it just he was blind because of a service-related injury. So it doesn't mean, I'm just saying that we need to be cognizant of the fact that if we're going to be inclusive, inclusivity means that we also are inclusive of people with physical disabilities. And I just think we need to be careful about front-end loading things. I think the rest of the stuff we've done is fine, and you could put some statement saying something about able to understand the physical requirements to do the job or something. But I think when we get into how many pounds and how often you can stoop and whatever, that then you're saying that, gee, a person who is disabled in this area could not do it. And I'm worried more about the brain power of the person instead of the physical power.
I guess I feel like basically anyone can do anything. If you're the director, if you can't lift that or move something or climb up to the stacks, you have a staff to do that, So why would we limit someone who has all the abilities to be a director if they can't climb a ladder type of thing,
Well, if we wrote go up the stairs
Yeah,
as one of the requirements, would you meet that requirement?
no.
No, and I wouldn't either. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying that we need to be careful that we don't list
Make it-
physical requirements that are not as important to the job as the mental requirements to eliminate people with physical
Okay,
or anyway.
I'm gonna
mobility
take two
related
more
things.
comments and, go ahead.
I just have a suggestion that you could add reasonable accommodations available upon board approval. That way, if you needed to have reasonable accommodations, it's already listed in there, and that kind of covers everything. But I will say that this is our job every day. We do this every day, all of us. We have to go, Erin has to go up to the roof. if you can't climb a ladder, then you can't get to the roof.
I shovel snow.
Shoveling stuff.
I clean up vomit.
These are things that we do. There are things that not everybody would be able to do, but if someone couldn't do it, a reasonable accommodation could be made, and you could add that, and it kind of covers your bases, and it could be a case by case basis.
I like that
Yeah, I would
statement.
agree with Megan. I would also like to add that my understanding of my position is that I should be expected to do every position here in the library, and that's including custodial, which I have done. And so I think that's going into this position, I think that should be an expectation that should be understood. I should be able to cover children's desks without any problem. I should be able to go out and shovel snow without any problem. And yes, we have an amazing DPW department, and I'm very lucky to have them. But I think there should be an expectation, and I have that expectation for myself, that I will do any position and do any job that's necessary. So,
And again,
and I think that,
yeah.
I think Megan's statement regarding reasonable accommodations, I think could
that
be,
opens the doors
right,
for opportunities
conversation
for someone
and,
else,
right.
as long as the board is willing at that time with that individual
Right, exactly.
to do that.
If
Because-
they have all
yeah.
the other qualifications and they've got amazing abilities and all that stuff, and the only thing they can't do is, they need a wheelchair, well, certainly that person could be absolutely
Yeah.
take the job and do very well, and there would be accommodations made to accommodate them, absolutely.
I like the thought that it gives the board some control,
Certainly.
but it opens opportunities for some people. I mean, I have climbed up on roofs and worked on HVACs, I know what it's like, and
Yeah.
would I do that today? No,
Yeah.
but that's what you do when you're running a business, you have to do these things. So, how about what we've just, adding that one line, would that be fine for everyone?
Megan, can you say it again? I just.
No?
Reasonable accommodations available upon board
Approval.
request
And board approval.
and board approval. I can't.
What's the matter, Maureen?
I don't remember exactly.
I think you should just roll call it. I'm gonna vote no.
Okay.
I don't know.
Based on, we're gonna do a roll call, based on that one addition,
Could I
okay,
just
or
ask,
the whole section?
Could we ask for the
Yeah.
section, the title of this section, physical?
It's under physical requirements.
Yeah, it's from the other, one of the other.
The one that I created.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, all right, I want to call, can we take a roll call?
Should I make a
Did
motion?
we have a motion?
I'll make a motion
seconded?
that we add back the section that was titled physical requirements with some of those pieces in it, including the part that Megan just mentioned about reasonable accommodations made or available by request with board approval.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, would you start the roll call, please?
Nancy Hendricks, yes.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Jan McLaughlin, no.
Beth Bradco, yes.
Maura Ryan, no.
Christine Fitzgerald, no.
Okay,
The only thing I wanted to add too is that there's some things in the job review form that are not in the job description, but they are in the job description that I presented. So I do think if you're gonna have something in the job review, the review form, it should also be mentioned in the job description.
okay, can you specifically speak to those?
So one of the things is encouraging, we haven't gone over the job review, but what I noticed is that on my suggested job description, there was encourage staff professional growth at all levels by supporting participation in professional associations, workshops, seminars, and other activities. That's in the review, but it's not on the job description. Another item that's in the review but not on the job description is wait a minute.
What's the
On
one
that
you just mentioned?
Encourage staff professional growth at all levels by supporting participation in professional associations, workshops, seminars, and other activities.
And
Okay,
you're,
and
would you
I don't see
cross,
that in here.
will you
It's-
cross-reference what in the review?
Oh,
That cross-reference the
sure.
review?
Well, this is not it's in the review, but it's not on,
It's not in the review.
yep, it's under, number 4, staff management, where it says encourages professional development. That's not in my job description currently, that you guys,
Okay, it's not in the job description,
Yeah,
right.
and it's not in the.
Yes, it
form.
is under number 4, second page. Second bullet-ish. Second item.
Encourages professional development. There's no place here that says and works with staff to for professional development. Yeah, I understand that.
On the second page, what particular bullet number are you?
I'm on the job review form on the second page,
Just
number
encourages
4.
professional development.
Yep. It's
Okay.
just not in my job description.
Okay, and the job description that you wanted to put in, I mean, in the job description?
The wording that I would ask to add to the board would be encourage staff professional growth at all levels by supporting participation in professional associations, workshops, seminars, and other activities. That would be for all staff, so all levels means all staff.
I know what you're saying. I personally think we should just leave it at encourages professional development in the
I
job.
agree. And that way it's
So,
the same between both.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, I agree, that way it's the same between both.
Yeah, they says the same, okay, yeah, and we don't list all the other stuff, that's would be my recommendation.
Encourages professional development.
Staff professional
Oh,
development.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, so, and that would be an addition onto
Yep.
onto the,
For
job
the
description.
duties and responsibilities.
yes,
Yep.
okay,
Okay.
all right, okay, next,
And then there's a different, in the evaluation, it talks about library programming. Let me just find that in the evaluation. Sorry, I don't. There's no page number, so I'm
program
not sure.
development,
Yep, under program development. It says, here it's speaking that I provide a variety of programs for all ages, I evaluate programs successfully and adjust accordingly, I support staff, I don't do programming, really. My staff does it and I oversee it. So my staff, like for example, Megan will put on team programming and then she'll come to me, they come to us with, both Donna and I, with proposals for their programming based on season is how we do it. And so they come to me, so I oversee the programming, my department heads do create and manage the programs, and I essentially approve them in the end, but I don't do programming, technically. Maybe every now and again, puzzle exchange, but.
I would think that it should say, go ahead, Jen.
So, I agree what you're saying. I would think it would be, oversees and approves a variety of programs for all ages, ensures on the evaluation of program success and adjusts accordingly, supports staff in program creation, that's appropriate, selects programs that fit the budget. That's under the approval process. So the last two budgets are there, and the other ones just oversees and approves and ensures
That's fine.
evaluations
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
of
fine.
the
Yeah.
project. If so, if we
Okay.
can just make those slight changes, I think we're all set.
Okay.
So
that
it would
fine.
be,
Oversees and
oversees a
approves.
variety of programs at
And
all ages.
Approves.
Yeah, and approves, okay? And
And then,
evaluates,
ensures
ensures,
evaluation of program success.
I don't know, do you have a problem with evaluates program success and adjusts accordingly?
It ensures evaluation, so that ensures that you're evaluating, that there are evaluations done of program success.
So you're saying that, so someone else would do the evaluation?
Well, yeah, my staff who runs the program does it.
Ensures
Okay.
there's an evaluation, of the program success. I mean,
Okay.
she's not gonna evaluate them, you might go and see the program,
Okay,
but,
I mean, that makes sense, that now points to what you would be doing as, your job description as a
Right.
supervisor.
Right.
Okay, so, yes,
So
Christine?
instead of, where it says number 2, program development, we can change it to oversight of program development.
sure.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah. Okay,
And then, the only other things I had were related specifically to the evaluation, so I don't know if we wanna move on to that.
I had one thing I
Yeah, we
wanted to add
oh,
in
yeah, go
addition
ahead.
to the job description. For under duties and responsibilities, I wanted to add, conducts exit interviews and provides trustees with results.
I'm good with that.
accepts exit interviews of staff.
Sure.
Yeah, and provides trustees with the results. Are we all set then for the job description?
Are we voting on them separately or as a unit?
I would say that we need to review this one first because we would need to make sure that everything matches up.
Okay,
And
that's
then we
fine.
vote on both of them.
Okay.
If we've had, if we missed something, okay? And this one hopefully should go quickly.
Just, we should be mindful of time with,
Yeah,
Yep.
and think about what isn't
Start it
gonna
over
happen
again.
on the rest of our agenda.
well, I mean, we have to
Right.
select
So-
this. but
Right.
Other things we may have to
Yep.
defer,
Mhm.
okay?
Mhm.
Yeah, we gotta try to keep this a decent hour, I know. All right. Okay, we're Londonderry Leach Library.
Liz,
Yeah, go ahead.
Liz, I'm sorry. I believe you asked everyone to review this ahead of time,
Mm-hmm.
so it might go quicker just to ask people if they had any revisions
Okay,
to what we
I'd
had
love
versus
to do
them
that.
reading through
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Okay, we're gonna look at, obviously, section 1, that's just a basic thing. Anyone have, yeah?
Just where it says trustees' names, is it all the trustees, are the whole board is listed there? Cause you may need another line, that's all I'm saying. Or is it just the chair that's going to be listed there? I know the whole board will be reviewing me and that's fine, but you just may need
yeah.
more room. I don't know whoever created
More
the
lines, yeah.
form. And then there's an H in front of Londonderry Leach
Yeah.
Library at the top that needs to be removed.
Oh, yes, I see that, yeah.
We're not the Londonderry.
Okay.
And I just don't know if the board,
Londonderry.
if the
Okay.
board, oh no,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not,
And the trustees' names would be, it's there because, say, we only have 6 trustees.
no, that's fine, I just was suggesting that you would need
Yeah.
another line,
Yeah,
cause you
I
need more
know,
room.
yeah. And that, so it would be all trustees that are
Okay.
who are doing the review,
Mhm.
okay? And so, okay, we're on the first section, leadership, management, and professional awareness. Anyone have any comments on that?
I did have a comment on that, I'm just trying.
No?
Well, I did, but. Is this a draft? Or is this, cause,
It sort of
It's-
says draft.
It said
Yeah,
the
there's
draft
like a
went
little-
underneath
okay,
for some
I just
reason.
was, okay,
See
Yeah,
the
you,
little
it's,
pen, I think.
there's
Oh, I
a
got you,
watermark
okay.
there for draft,
okay.
It just-
okay?
Mine says aft.
There's that
Okay.
little watermark right there,
Yeah,
that's,
I know, it's the aft.
I just
yeah,
I just wanted to be sure I was looking at the right one.
okay.
I mean,
Okay, we're up to section 3, communications.
oh, two.
No, it's just still 2. Leadership, management, professional
Oh.
awareness. We all set with that?
Oh.
No, it's not loving that one. Number 2.
Yeah,
That's
I feel like it was a little bit heavy on the micromanaging. It kind of reduced, like, the autonomy of the director.
I don't think it's micromanaging, it's
It's
just judging her on how she's performing on her leadership skills. It's not telling her how to do them, it's judging her on how she is doing them.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I wrote that comment in the wrong square. Sorry.
okay.
Move on.
So we're on leadership skills. Anyone have any questions on that? No? Great. We're on now section
Daily
3,
supervision.
communications.
Nope,
No,
two.
no,
Oh, well,
Two.
Your people.
we're on daily supervision.
oh,
Oh,
I
yeah, I think it's
yeah,
bigger
sorry,
category.
I have to do that. Thank you. It's getting late. Okay, daily supervision, the daily operation, I'm not gonna read it.
No.
Anyone have any comments on that?
No.
No? Okay. How about strategic planning?
That's the one where I was struggling with.
Huh?
That's
Yeah,
the
that's
one.
where I was struggling with.
Okay, you have a comment?
I just feel like it's kind of heavy on the micromanagement. It says, may suggest strategic goals for the library, must have BOT approval, follows through with BOT policies and updates staff on changes. I feel like she's our captain at the library, and I'd like her to have some more input.
You
Well,
wanna
we're
get rid of
already
the
saying
name
she's
and
the
just
one
do
who's
suggested?
introducing the goals, but then the board is now
Like she sets
approving it.
goals for her staff, and I don't know that we,
Well, could it
capture
be
that
worded, may suggest strategic goals for the library to the board, and then obviously I'm gonna have board approval on them, so would that be, I don't know if that's helping what you're saying.
I don't know, it just,
Okay,
strategic planning and then says follows through with the board, like that, if you're following through with the board's orders, that's not strategic planning. Does that make sense? Like, strategic planning is you being able to, as a director, being able to say, I'm gonna take us in this direction or this direction, you know, within your houses of departments. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's fitting under that title of strategic planning.
So where would you put the fact that, if the board sets a policy that, Erin would follow through with the board policy and updates the staff on those changes?
Would that be under leadership skills?
I don't know.
I just don't
Or
feel
could
like
it be-
strategic planning is the right title for it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I see
yeah,
what you're
maybe change the title.
And in the old draft, you know, we had more about supervising of staff and support of staff, encouraging professional development.
That's under staff management.
I keep doing them, sorry.
How about library
Uh,
goals and planning?
The old one had anticipates future challenges and opportunities, regularly reviews and updates policies. Like, I just feel like there was more input, because we're supposed to be evaluating her work, but if we're just evaluating her ability to just,
Is there?
Right now, we're looking at strategic planning, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, in 2 years from now, what's the library gonna look at, like,
right.
that kind of thing,
But that doesn't have
okay?
anything to do with the policies and updates, I feel like. I feel like the strategic planning is more of like could be like a 2-year plan kind of thing, where the policies and procedures are more, or policies and updates are more, you know, could be daily or.
But we're talking about leadership skills, that's this section, okay?
So what if we change instead of strategic planning, library goals and planning, or something like that? Instead of strategic planning.
Like library goals.
I like
Library
that.
goals.
would be
Like
fun.
library goals.
Okay,
But following through with,
but again, you're
policies
opening
isn't
the door,
that-
you saying now she sets library goals?
No,
Oh, boy.
it just feels like there's two different topics happening. Strategic planning is her kind of, as a director, kind of seeing a creative future for, you know, where she wants each department head to go, direction-wise, but this just is, you know, can she follow directions? Yes, no. It's less of a
Okay.
strategic planning. It just feels like they're two different topics.
But look at the title, okay, section 2, leadership, management, and professional awareness, okay? We're looking for her professional awareness to tell us strategically, this is what we should consider doing, okay? That's what we're doing. You know, she's reading all the trends that are going on in libraries. She's aware of what's happening, and we're just asking her, to share those, you know, strategic goals, saying, hey, this is what the trends, and so I'd like to suggest that that's the direction we take.
Yeah, I just feel like we should scrap that last line that says follows through with bot policies. Like, it just doesn't feel like it fits there, but that's just my
Could-
opinion.
Okay, so you're suggesting we leave may suggest strategic goals for the library must have BOT approval, right?
Yeah.
Because
I
you're
mean, I
saying
don't think
following through,
But I also feel like, why do you need bot approval to make a suggestion? You know, she just, like,
no, you're getting bought approval for the changes that she suggested.
Right. But strategic planning means we're evaluating her ability to suggest changes and to suggest.
Doesn't have to match
Jan?
anyway, too.
Do you have a question?
I would just, no, I don't have a question. My comment would be, maybe instead of this must-have board approval, I mean, that it's the collaboration with the board to set goals, that's what that is there.
Yeah.
Versus, I mean, that's really what's happening, right? She doesn't have to have board approval to make a suggestion.
Right. So I
Right.
just feel like we
So you
scrap
could
that.
I would get rid of the word may, and I would put suggests with a plural, strategic goals for the library, period. and then follow-throughs on board policies and updates staff on changes. That's an important thing because the policies are set by the board, and it's important that the staff be current on what the policies are. And so it is important that we at least have that information.
Could that, Jane, could the follows through with the policies, could that go under staff management?
Yeah.
I think so.
It just,
Good.
it feels out of place under that one, the planning, but I agree with you, but maybe under staff, can we move that to
Okay.
staff management?
Hang on, wait, okay? You wanted to move strategic planning under staff
Nope.
management?
Mhm.
Oh,
Just
No,
this part.
the one where it says follow through with board policies and updates to staff changes.
okay. So, right now, it's gonna read, suggest strategic goals for the library,
Right,
And that's kind of a very weak,
and that's it. But
kind
that's,
of a week evaluation.
But there's also a line that we could add, anticipates future challenges and opportunities.
that's good.
Cause that's getting her insight on like the projected future of the library.
And that was in the original one.
Yeah,
Anticipates future.
challenges and opportunities.
okay, then strategic planning will read, suggest strategic goals for the library and
Anticipates future challenges and opportunities.
participates, okay, yep,
Anticipates.
yes, okay,
And then scrap the
and
rest.
scrap the other one that's moving down.
Yeah,
Yep.
scrap the
Okay.
must have DOT approval.
Oh, yeah, okay,
So strategic planning will read, suggest strategic goals for the library, and then the second one says anticipates challenges and opportunities. Future challenges, excuse me.
Yep.
Okay,
okay.
got it.
And maybe communicates goals and objectives to the board or something,
Well, it says,
or to the community, or I don't know. But it's the
Hang on,
communication
suggest-
part, I would think you would be evaluating there, but.
Suggest and communicate
I
strategic
think,
goals?
wait, but make suggestions to the BOT, the Board of Trustees, for strategic goals for the library.
Just, I think suggest strategic goals is all right, but I would just say, you know, she can anticipate it, but it doesn't do any good if she's anticipating it and it's not communicated with the community or the
Well,
whatever.
yeah, I'm just saying that,
Okay.
the whole thing about the suggestive goals is, it should be relayed to the Board of Trustees.
Well, maybe, well, I'm just trying to connect it back to the things we've just, because coordinate and supervise, arrangement of the facilities, that's not there. I mean, that's not that, so, you know, where are the pieces in here that go to there, that's all.
Okay, Maura?
I think that's too convoluted and I think that's impossible to evaluate, so I think maybe it would be better to put in something concrete like suggesting strategic goals for the library, develop a 1, 5, and 10-year plan.
I can't do a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
That's I mean,
Well,
I've done 3-year plans, I've done 5-year plans, 10-year plan is
Okay, so 3
Yeah.
and 5,
It's-
1, 3, and 5 year, how's that?
well, do you want all of those plans, or just, can we choose one of those?
I mean, I think you would say, here's, this
In-
year, we'd like to do the
Well,
following.
that's what the three,
And
that,
then 3 years, in 3 years, we
Our
would
goal
like to do this.
is that in 3 years, that we'd have that, and our goal is in 5 years. It's, you know, it's almost hard to project because technology
well,
changes,
that's
everything
why I feel like
changes.
the
There's
5
so
years
much-
is even challenging in that
Yeah,
to speak,
that's
so
what I'm saying, yeah.
I don't mind coming up with a 3-year strategic goal plan, I've done that before. I've worked with people who created those, and I've created my own. I have no problem doing that, and within that 3-year, it does speak to year 1, year 2, year 3. That's how the strategic plans usually work. It speaks to each individual year, and if you don't get it done in year 1, you move it to year 2. Or if something stops you from getting it done in year 2, you move it to year 3. That's why,
If
have
funding
this
isn't
step-
there, you gotta keep moving.
right, exactly,
Yeah.
you change, but that, you break the
But it's
3-year
hard to-
down to 1 year, 2 year, 3 year.
It's hard to project more than 3 years, cause things change so in
And
our,
sometimes even in
this,
2
in
years.
this world, it changes so quickly,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay, so, I'm hearing a coordinate, so, develops a 1 and 3 year plan for the library.
I would just say develops a 3-year strategic plan, because the 3-year
Okay.
plan does speak to year 1, 2, and 3.
There we go. Perfect.
So under strategic planning, that's all it needs to have, right? That's all we need to say.
You still need the strategic goals. You still need to suggest strategic goals, that's
The
still
strategic
appropriate.
goals will be in the plan though. The plan should consist of goals consisting of those 3 years.
Well, the plan is the goals, that's the,
Well, but I
your
think,
plan and your goals are
I
really
think
the
just
same
because you
thing.
have one doesn't mean you don't evaluate the other.
Okay.
So I just think you make sure that that is inclusive, that's all.
Okay, are we ready for, we know what we want for the terminology now, for that?
Do we wanna go over what's under number 3 just one more time?
Yes, that's what
Okay,
I'm
thank
saying,
you.
yeah.
We're gonna keep the same name?
I think so.
Okay,
Yes, strategic planning, yeah.
Suggest strategic goals for the library.
I thought it was,
I thought
okay.
it became library goals, but okay.
Develops a 3-year strategic plan. And we've moved the follows through, and updates down to staff management.
And then, are we still keeping the anticipates future challenges and opportunities, or is that gonna be in the plan? Those could be different, cause they could be related to different things.
I'm fine with it staying, I'm fine with it going. So, I think anticipating future challenges and opportunities, how do we measure that?
Yeah,
But except by looking at, I think leave it in there, it anticipates future challenge and opportunities, cause we could look at the
but
strategic
then,
goals to see.
yeah,
if it's
that's
there.
what, you're anticipating it, but then now you're making the plan. Okay, so you first should get the vision, and then you make the plan.
Mhm.
So I think that's fine like that, okay? All right, we're after, under staff management, we're moving, follows through with BOT policies and update staff on changes to there,
Can I
right?
ask that BOT all be capitalized if we're gonna use BOT?
Yep.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, should we have something under here on staff management about evaluating staff?
Yeah, that should be there.
Yeah, that sounds good. What would you, how would you
I
rephrase it?
don't know, how do I
Conduct annual.
Well, I conduct annual,
annual
staff evaluations
There
and
you go.
present to the board,
There you go.
Yeah,
if the board's,
I would say conduct staff evaluation, what if there's a problem with staff, it might be done in less than a year, especially if they're,
well, I think that would be on a separate thing, that if you mean a problem employee?
well, she's, by saying that you conduct, I guess you almost have to say annual. You need to put a set a time frame, but doesn't mean that you can't, if there's a problem with an employee, you then handle that, you conduct it
Well, yeah,
then.
because it says handles
Yeah.
conflicts and disciplinary actions
And that's where
appropriately.
that
Yeah.
covers that.
Yeah.
So,
But I think if you gotta say, yearly, we expect you to conduct this, okay?
Conduct staff evaluation annually, something like that.
yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay, we're set?
Yep.
All right, financial management? Any questions or any additions or deletions?
And correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm forgetting everything that was in the original, that was in the job description, but I don't think the assist to prepare and manage the library budget effectively is in there. I think the job description should be reflective in the review. So I just don't, did I miss it, or did we change it, and I just wanted to have a double eye on that one. I thought we added something.
Right here, drafts proposed annual operating budget for the trustees to consider, evaluate.
Oh, no, we
adjustments
changed
to
that to works in collaboration with the board of trustees
Okay.
to a draft budget. Okay, forget it then.
Okay, we're
Sorry.
set.
That's what
Yep,
my
Okay.
note was. And then my only question is where it says keeps within the budget line per line number. I would ask that to be removed, because I understand that I have to keep within the line number, but at the same time, if let's say, I don't know, an example of
I can give you an example.
heating. So
There you go.
heating,
Perfect.
if I go over that line, which I have very little control over, I stop before I go over that line, we don't have heat, but at the same time, it's not a true accurate spend. So I understand I'm not gonna like go thousands over the line, I understand that part, but I think if I stay within the line number, you're not getting a true accurate spend of specifically that line. If we're really trying to focus on putting the appropriate things in the appropriate line, that's where we need to focus. And if we go over, we can look at that and go, so, all right, why did we go over? There has to be a reason. We look at that reason, oh, we had a really cold winter, or we had, -15 degree days all month of February. then we know why we went over and we have an excuse for that. I think saying I think if you wanna say, keep within the library budget as a total, that's certainly reasonable, but the line number makes me nervous for emergencies of that nature.
Okay.
Or not even emergencies, just
Yeah, I
accurate
would-
spending.
I would
That
agree
comes,
with
well,
that, because
that
we-
comes, I'm gonna tell you where that comes from. It comes directly out of the New Hampshire Library Trustees Association. And what it does say, that you need board approval to charge against another, to change the line number charge. That's what the
I
New
wouldn't
Hampshire.
wanna, are you saying to take something out of a different line?
Mhm.
I don't wanna do that because
No,
then you're, oh, okay.
That's not what I'm telling you.
Okay,
Okay, keeps within the budget per line number unless you don't wanna transfer them, you wanna go over the budget, or you wanna transfer the charges to something, to where you have money left? What do you wanna do?
I wanna be able to go over a line number, a line item amount, with the expectation that there's an explanation to that, but the total bottom line budget would not go over.
So it would be, we got hands up everywhere. Let's start over here. Christine, we'll go around the table. Go ahead.
I was going to suggest breaking that in two, keeps within budget, and then the second is keeps proper accounting per line number.
So the challenge is that the board, and it's actually noted in our minutes, we voted in July to overspend one of her line items. And then, but we're saying she's gotta
But we
stay.
did that in line with what is.
Correct, but
for
that
the
is
New
in
Hampshire.
contradiction with what we're saying.
That's why I'm saying.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying if we keeps within the line budget, unless approved by
Or inspired by the board.
Yeah, or it's, yeah,
Or
yeah.
provoked by the board,
know.
however you wanna word that.
Yeah.
Advises board of needed changes. I mean, I think that's the, keeps within budget per line number, or keeps within budget is one, I agree with that. Okay, and then, maintains, I don't know, whatever, the line number, or, advises the board of changes or something. So that, we know that when we get up to 110% of the board of the book line, that we're all in deep yogurt about that. But hopefully when we get up to 90%, you've already told us that we're gonna go over this because of the following. So.
I can tell you right now, FY27 is gonna.
But I think, because I think the line thing is important, because we've assisted and prepared the budget with those lines. So I
Yeah.
think that's important, but, that's.
You know what, I personally, I think that what Erin said, we should be doing accurate accounting and realize that this line's gonna be over but it can't be over because I wanted to buy extra books.
No, that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying,
it's
it would
a,
have an
type of thing.
explanation.
Exactly.
And then we
Yeah.
could say, wow, he went over last year, should we add more money to that budget,
Or
or was
let
there a
people freeze.
specific,
Yeah.
whatever reason, I think
Yeah.
it's important to continue to spend out of a line. Obviously, if I'm going over, the board is gonna know, but to spend out of a line and show the accurate spending of that. Why did we go over in office supplies? Well, the custodial supplies went up, or whatever it is that it is, we can speak to that, and say, okay, should we adjust that for next year, or should we do something different? And then that conversation can happen with an accurate number. If you're saying stop at a line number, I stop at, so now for the next 3 months, we have no office supplies because I don't wanna go over that line number. I think the board should be aware of all of that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so I have can I ask one question?
Sure, you can ask it, what, you can, you're the chair, you can do whatever.
I have a question for you. Okay, so you need $200,000 for your management staff, for your programs and stuff.
Okay.
And the budget department will only give you $100,000. How do you wanna handle that? What are you gonna do with that?
Well, I would look at the $100,000 and say, this is all we have to spend this year.
And so
But
that's-
that
yeah.
would mean, so you take $100,000 and you divide it by, three different departments, children's,
Yes,
adults,
yeah.
and teen, and then you divide it by, what are we looking at, fall, summer, spring, winter, fall, and then we do our best, but I can't guarantee that I'm gonna stay within a number, because we could still go over based on cost items of things, or a change of something, or something. And again, I'm not saying, the board is saying it's okay for me to go over, I'm saying, when there's a reason that we're gonna go over, there's gonna be an explanation as to why.
Okay.
And then the board can accurately look at that and say, okay, why did you go over? Was it because, for example, postage last year, we went over because we did the postcard campaign. We're not gonna do that next year. So we don't really need to, maybe we don't need to worry about that going into the second year because it was a one-time thing. But if it's something that's happening continuously and we have to kind of be aware of it, then I think that's why I want the accurate spending.
I'm gonna respond one, and then I give you both an opportunity. I feel that the right thing to do is to do what you're saying. But I think you need, when you see that we're gonna go over, you need to have conversation with us, with the board. Give them heads up. That way, when someone comes from the budget department and comes to us and questions it, we can at least defend it. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I think that's completely appropriate.
I think that, let's accurately, we're gonna budget as best we can. We can't predict what the next 12 months are gonna bring us. So as long as we know that we have to cut things somewhere, if we gotta make the bottom line. But if you know that something's gonna go over, we have the discussion, we're able to defend it, and we're gonna say, we're gonna keep to the budget.
Yep.
Jan?
So I think that, I agree with what you said, I think that, something about here communicates, with, BOT.
Oh, yeah.
Any, changes due to circumstance or something like that.
Any forecast,
No, just, we're at 95% in December.
Yeah.
Yes, we should all be able to tell that, but there should be a discussion about what you're gonna do to make sure that you're not $140,000 when we only budgeted $90,000 or something. So, or why you're gonna go to $140,000 because we have saved money from here and we're gonna apply that money there or whatever, but we're still gonna have to keep it within that line
Yes, honey.
item.
Put your arm down, I'm calling you right next. You don't have to keep holding your arm up.
So anyway, so my concern is just,
It's wording.
I wanna make sure that the line item is still important. It's
It
not-
is important, we need to get the right wording, okay?
Yeah.
Think
Thank you.
while Beth talks.
I would like to scrap that line that says keeps within budget per line number and say communicates with the board, word it however you want, where we are in perspective with meeting, the fiscal limits of the year.
I think that's fine.
Because we don't wanna pigeonhole a director who is not as ethical as Erin is, so that we find out later they've been caught in the heat, so that it doesn't come back at them on an evaluation, that they didn't stay within that budget number. That's what you're looking at. If you're looking at somebody who's a little shady and they just wanna cover their own butt, someone's gonna cut corners somewhere, and we are supposed to represent the library. We wanna make sure everything's functioning and operating at a high standard. So, communicates where we are with the budget, with the BOT, but not have it come down on her that the heating rate went up.
I'm less concerned about the heating going up than I am about the, 3 years in a row, we've gone over, the book line.
But we did
So-
it was just
We did.
that book line.
We did go over the book line 3 years. I'm just saying, and, a couple of years ago, it was by $50,000. But I'm just saying that, we need to, keep within the budget line, and communicate any changes, so the board's aware of it ahead of time is an
But
important
for
piece.
the record, she didn't go over the book line. The book line just didn't incorporate the digital collection in the same way. So when that line was written, it didn't incorporate everything that really went into it. So we are rewording the line items to incorporate those things, but Erin personally didn't go over.
The-
It just wasn't.
No, but the budget did.
but this is a reflection of the director. We are looking at
But
an
she's,
evaluation of the director. So
Right,
just
but
wanna
she's
get
in
that on
charge.
the record.
she's in charge of the budget, so when it goes over by that much, it is she is, we should know.
We are
She
talking
should know.
about her evaluation, and
Mhm.
we wanna stick
Mhm.
with that.
Okay, two comments I'm gonna make. The one comment, okay, that Beth made, okay, the rebuttal is, well, she did go over, but it's 'cause the budget department at that time would not allow and allocate a separate line for electronic downloads. We now had, if I'm not, are you agreeing with me with that? So we went into the world where we now people download, instead of coming to the library, they download off of the
Right.
library, and we're paying for that. And so,
But we wouldn't penalize her for that. In this, the only reason we're talking right now is about an evaluation. So if we're not gonna penalize the director or reward the director for a job well done, we should not be talking about.
and we're talking
$50,000.
about keeps within budget per line number still, okay? And the whole point of that statement is that the New Hampshire Trustees Association, that we follow their guidelines, says that the director may not charge a different line number unless approved by the Board of Trustees. That's all it's saying. So the Board of Trustees, the director goes to the Board of to the Board of Trustees. Some things, are controllable and some aren't. Heat is not a controllable thing, but so then, she goes and says, I'm going to go over this, and do you want me,
This is well.
and basically, do you want me to, I need your approval because I'm going over it, or, it's going to go over. It's just saying, it's like it's just
It's keeping the board informed of any.
Yes.
And that's
we're the
I think that- I
oversight for
think-
money.
Can we
That's
come
all
up
it
with
is.
just a line for that then?
Yeah. Go ahead, Christine.
So, that's what I wanted to do was we'll remove the last line, kind of break it up into two different things. Communicate to the board, of any budget issues / changes, and then keeps proper accounting per line number.
Yes,
Perfect. That's good.
Okay, everyone
Got
good with that?
yes.
Bingo.
I'm sorry, can I
Yeah,
ask you
go
to read that again, just because I wanna write it down?
Communicate to board any budget issues / changes.
Are you saying BOT or board?
We'll do BOT to keep it
Okay.
consistent.
Any,
Issues / changes.
Okay, thank you.
And then the second one would be, keeps proper accounting per line number.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. In the next section, section 3, communications, internal communication, communicates effectively with staff, provides trustees with information required on as needed basis. I can't even talk. Any questions on that, Beth?
We removed from the other draft, that they would encourage open communication and feedback and maintains regular staff meetings. I think we do wanna keep those in, so I'd like to add those back.
Where are you?
For the other draft, that was,
You're looking at, yeah. And what 2 lines did we remove?
it said encourages open communication and feedback, maintains regular staff meetings. I think we wanna keep that.
Anyone have a problem with adding that back in?
No, I don't.
Okay.
We should have staff meetings.
Let's add that back in.
And feedback with staff, is that what you're saying? Encourages open communication and feedback with staff?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
No, it just says encourages open communication and
I mean,
feedback.
it could be
That's one
patrons, could be
bullet.
staff, could be.
And then the
whatever.
second bullet says maintains regular staff meetings.
There you go.
Okay,
So basically, we're just keep putting the 2 back in.
Yep.
Okay? Yep. Everyone's good? Great, let's move on. Public relations, handles public concerns professionally. Anyone have any comments or anything on this section?
the manages the library public image effectively is not in my job description currently. So unless it's worded differently. So I'm fine with that, but I think, I don't know if there's
It doesn't reference back to your job description, yeah.
And maybe it does in a different way, but, if someone has, fine.
On which one?
Where it says under public relations, manages
Number
library's
2.
public image effectively. I don't think that's in my job description that you guys currently.
Sustains a viable and thriving library with a customer-focused framework, assesses community preferences for library services, and evaluates trends to keep abreast of needed changes.
Yeah, but
I'm reading those from the major duties and responsibilities.
Which,
yeah, I'm not sure that those are.
I don't know if that, cause I look at this as like attending like outreach or just in the public.
It looks like that whole section on outreach was taken out.
Yeah, I was gonna recommend that we bring it back.
It's gotta go back in.
Was that the one that was above it, that has
Yeah.
like 2 colons?
Yeah.
I don't know. So maybe oh no, public relations.
But, sustains a viable and thriving library community with customer-focused framework. Does that not deal with customers? Does not deal
Well,
with
this
the
is I think this is public image. I look at this as more of like, when I go to places, no matter where it is, as I'm doing during, like when I go to a Gmail committee, I'm representing the Leach Library in Londonderry. And I should be presenting a positive public image for that, at that meeting. That's how I look at this. Where that seems more internal, that one bullet. So maybe we can put just manages the library's public image effectively in the duties and responsibilities. And then it covers that.
Everyone okay with that? No? Yeah, everyone's okay with that?
Manages the library's public image effectively. Add that into the major responsibilities.
Yeah,
And
Sounds
that's
good.
the only change now?
that's
On
the
that.
only one I had for that.
Okay.
And I'd like to add back in the community outreach as another.
I'm
section.
sorry, say that again?
We had deleted the section called community outreach, and I'd like to put that back in.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's significant to what she does.
Okay, can you define what community outreach is gonna be? Wait a second, hold it, wait.
Do you want me to read the bullet points that are on it?
Oh,
Right here.
Yep, I'm just
Is
making
that
sure that we're,
oh, it's right on top. Yeah, it was taken out.
So it said, under the section that was taken out, Jan, it reads, represents the library in the community, establishes partnerships with local organizations, promotes library services and programs.
Yeah, that should be in.
I don't have any problems with that. I guess just some of those are how they're interpreted, but that's okay.
Okay, so that's Friends of the Library, yeah.
So, are we adding that back in? Is
Yeah,
everyone
we should.
agreeing to that?
I agree.
I
with that,
agree.
Not that my agreement
I don't
doesn't.
have any
Okay.
else.
Is everyone in agreement that we're gonna put that back in?
Yes, I am.
Maura?
So, just out of curiosity, when you guys worked on this, what was the reasoning for taking it out?
My reasoning, okay, I'm always honest, okay? My reasoning is that I feel that we're paying administrative time for Erin to go to other, other activities in town, like, at night, for the, like senior citizens. And we don't, if, I personally don't think she should be going to other groups and meetings and stuff on a regular basis. And we're paying overtime for it.
Liz.
Not overtime, but administrative time.
Liz,
What?
these are not meetings, this is outreach, so it's more of like the senior expo, old home days. And I, with all due respect, think it's very important that the library is represented at those kind of events.
Okay, if that's the
Oh, okay.
case,
Yes.
Well,
then
I
I
think
would agree
if-
with
if-
that.
I think not being at those things is
Yeah.
questionable.
yeah.
And I
no,
think we should try to do more of those kind of outreach, connection with the community. In my opinion, community outreach does not include meetings. It
Okay.
includes social events of that nature, or my staff going to schools during the beginning of summer reading to promote summer reading and promote library services, or we go to the high school for a event that they're having to. Or you did You did,
Wellness,
no,
the teachers.
no, the kids, recreation.
Oh.
They went to recreation and,
Yeah.
and had a table there and connected with the recreation. I think it's very important that we represent the library and Londonderry in those kind of events.
You know, Liz,
Okay.
I also think that outreach has a large part of outreach is also going out into the community and interfacing with businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And so if Erin ever needs to do an all-call for whatever it is, fill in the blank, because she has done effective outreach with businesses in the community, then all she really needs to do is pick up the phone and call the business and say, I need a little help on fill in the blank, and that business would go, no problem. That's outreach, I think.
Okay, I misunderstood this category completely.
Okay.
And I agree that, that what's in that category, now that I understand, I personally feel fine with putting it back in, but the rest of the board needs to weigh in on it.
Of course.
Okay? Jan?
So, based on what was said, community outreach is the category, so
Mhm.
this is like number 2 underneath this communication area. Is that correct?
In the original.
Yes.
Community and Jade.
Okay, so community outreach, and then some of the measurements would be with the community, with businesses, and with town organizations.
Town organizations, it could also be social groups, she might wanna go and make a presentation to the Rotary Club
Yeah.
about the continuing changes
Right,
in
with
our,
library,
Yes,
yes.
organizations,
or whoever.
businesses,
Yeah.
and
No, I
town.
agree.
Kiwanis, whatever,
Town
doesn't
groups.
matter.
Yeah, because just like you now approach businesses to look for donations, that you can
Right.
use product for.
I mean, there are times I'm doing it not on work time, and to be
Yeah.
honest, Megan made a point, it's not always admin time. There are
Yeah.
times I'm attending these things during my workday,
Yes,
or I adjust
yeah.
my workday accordingly. So it's
Yeah.
not always admin time, it really
Mhm.
depends upon the week and
Yeah.
how my schedule looks.
Okay, is everyone comfortable with adding that back in? Okay, good,
Yes.
let's move
Thank
on.
you.
Okay,
Are we up to friends? I lost my.
we are friends, yes.
The only thing I had to say
Oh,
about
did
this, oh, sorry.
Did we, everyone agree on the public relations?
Yes.
I think we did. Yep.
Yeah, we haven't, I don't think, I think we were fine with that. And then we said yes, that's fine, and then we added in the pad, that
The
next
community
paragraph.
outreach,
Yeah,
which is
the
number,
community
we're gonna
outreach.
put that as number 2.
Okay.
The only thing I had to say about the Friends was that I do not assist the Friends with help defining their role. The Friends define their role.
Yeah, take that
That
off,
is
yeah, take
completely
that
not
off.
appropriate.
It was an NHLTA's thing for some
Yeah,
reason.
I don't, and I think that might be help in a more smaller library. But the
Yeah.
Friends already are doing a great job defining their role, and I don't need to. But I do attend Friends group meetings and help support them in any way I can.
Yeah, so they'll give us money. Oh, I shouldn't say that.
And we have
On
to get rid of
camera.
the A. It's like a random A.
Random A?
Where's the
Supports a friends group.
Oh, yeah, it should be the Friends group,
The friends group, yeah.
or supports Friends group, whatever.
And it's attend the meetings and, supports activities. Cause you need something you can measure, right? You attend the groups, you support the activities, I don't know, cause if we're not gonna measure it, then
Okay.
it's hard to have it here, just to say, okay, did she go? Yeah, she went to that meeting, is that enough for us to say that's part of the,
Is that
Um,
You should say collaborate with the
that's under
Friends.
public relations, yeah, that might be better.
I
think it's
remember that
public
you had a
relations.
suggestion of developing a wish list for the Friends, you could add that.
Well, I collaborate and work with the Friends to help support library services or library needs.
I was gonna say that, I said,
Maybe this needs
I
to go
was
under
gonna
public
put it,
relations.
instead of helping them, we wanna bring them into the library,
Yeah.
helping the library.
Yeah.
That's what we wanna do,
Right, 100%.
So how would we phrase that? Because I think that's really important. They're there, they could be tremendous, help to the library for things,
Mhm.
with programming, even if, we need to start, thinking, be outside the box and saying, I got 100 kids coming in and they're gonna play, they're all gonna play, sports for a program. I need a few bodies here just watching them, make sure no one gets hurt, you know.
And tear the library apart.
They would love to, I'm sure that the Friends would love to be involved.
Oh, yeah.
They
You
already
know.
are, yeah,
Yeah,
they are.
and they are now, but even, you know, we can even develop more relationships with them,
Absolutely.
okay? And so I would probably put that in to, you know, develop more opportunities for the Friends to, you know, to assist in the library and you know, to work with the library.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay?
So just to recap, director promotes and supports the Friends group, attends meetings and supports activities with Friends group, and then develops opportunities with Friends group to work with the library.
I feel like two of them sound similar.
Communicates needs and works with Friends group, communicates needs, library needs and wishes
Yeah,
to the
like
Friends group
advocates
or
library
something.
needs to
Yeah,
the
I
Friends
think
group.
that's
there you go.
like the
Yeah, that's good.
advocates library needs to the Friends group.
You know, and I think the other piece is making sure that we, you know, we include them and, you know, being the solution to the problem.
That's the whole thing with the Friends is like, I would, you know, is they feel like when I talk to them, they feel like, we wish we could do more for the library, you know, with the library. They wanna be involved, they love the library, and they wanna look for a role in there,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so, and we're saying that how, you know, we're short-staffed and stuff, you know, and we can, you know, they can help in a role, you know, like that, running programs or stuff, even, you know, chasing kids around in the reading rooms, you know, while type of thing, but.
I'm sorry, there are actually like very strict laws about what adults can work with children without background check, if they haven't been background checked.
I understand that, yes, yeah,
Like,
that,
just
I
from a
know.
legal perspective, please. Thank you.
The only thing I'd add to this Friends one is, do we wanna say, of Friends group, to say Friends of the Leach Library specifically? Do we wanna call them out specifically, or just keep it
Yeah,
general
let's call it,
Friends?
yeah, Friends, yeah, we don't care about any, you don't care about my friends, believe me. You know?
Well, I just wanna,
Yeah,
like,
no, Friends of Leach Library,
make it more specific
Yeah.
to our friends.
yes,
And if the name of them ever changes, we can adjust this.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Because obviously, we have a lot of friends of the library, they don't belong to the organization.
Mm.
So we're defining the organization, okay? Okay, daily supervision.
Whoop, where are we?
Right, no, I'm going backwards, I'm sorry.
Program and service management.
Okay,
This one,
I'm not crazy about
number one.
the one line
Yep.
of managing acquisitions and weeding effectively.
Okay.
I weed my collection, my staff weeds their own collection, so I think when it comes to collection development, we might wanna look at what we chose for the job description.
Yeah.
And kind of maybe use that similar thing,
It
because,
oversees selection and general collection of books and other items, resources.
yep, I think that would
Reviews
be,
major selection tools. Those are all, you know, part of that.
yeah, I think if probably if we just take that bullet and put it over, the oversee this, you like what you said, Jan, I think would be fine.
Beth, you have a comment?
We had something that was edited out, ensures diverse, relevant, and high quality materials.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah, where did that come out?
Say that one more time?
Ensures diverse, relevant, and high quality materials.
This was here.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. Anyone have a problem with that?
Don't even, quality material, right?
Yeah, we can add that back in.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
In addition to the other ones,
I think so, but the board's doesn't.
Okay. Okay, program development.
I think we already talked about this one,
Yeah, we did,
so,
oversight of program
Yeah.
development is what we decided to call it.
oversight of
yeah,
programs or something.
Oh, that was in the oversight section?
Yeah.
Okay, so we scratched this one
No,
totally.
we still left it here, it just,
Added
it
to
just,
it.
We already did the
it says,
revisions to it.
it says oversight of program development.
Oh, yeah, oversight of, okay, that's what I have here, oversight, and then just leave all that there.
yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, technology management,
This is not in my job description. The only part where it is under the must have, or I think we changed it to knowledge, ability, and skill, where it says leverage cutting edge technology, but there's no other mention of technology in my major duties and responsibilities. So, we need to put something in the job description if this is gonna stay in the evaluation. Which could be the same thing that's here.
It could be something like reaches out to the, you know, like how you reached out and got the recording and everything, you know. That it could be something like that, reaching out.
Well, assesses needs, technological needs of
Yeah.
the library, you know, regularly or whatever.
Yeah, something like that, you know. I think that's, you know, it's basically, you're just reaching out and saying, hey, we need this new technology.
Right.
And
It just needs to be in my job description if
Yeah.
it's gonna be here, that's all.
Yeah.
Take
So-
those bullet points and add them right into the.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, that's good.
everyone on board with what we're doing? No, you know, Maura.
I think we should strike it because, technology really is Donna's thing.
No, I disagree.
Well,
We work together on it.
you made her in charge of
Technical
the
services.
technical.
Technical services is not technology.
Well, I still don't, I mean, you could say you oversee it, I suppose, but I just don't see this. The one thing that I was thinking we might be able to add here is I know you had talked about wanting to develop a volunteer program, and maybe we could add that you're gonna develop a volunteer program in the future.
Under technology?
Under
No.
technology?
As a separate section.
Oh. That's Megan's responsibility.
It could be.
That's under Megan's volunteer, Megan handles the volunteers.
Did we finish technology?
No, we did
Hang
not.
on. We're still on technology, right?
Yeah.
And I want to point out on that next slide, on the second line, promotes digital literacy and online resources. I want to point out that's when you're now offering, not now that we're out of the summer, I think you're offering again the technology training on Thursday mornings for patient.
Yeah,
for
technology
patients.
help, yep.
Yeah, for,
Tech help.
you know, for patrons.
Yep.
I think that would fit in.
Yep,
into
absolutely.
that, you know, that we're
But
supply.
she's not necessarily offering it, right?
No, she's.
No, but I oversee
She-
staff
yeah.
that don't do
Approves
it, and we talk about discussions of other
Yeah.
needs, technological needs, yep.
So what are we putting in there? Are we
Well, I'm
taking
just,
up the
I'm
two
just
that are there?
asking whatever, I was asking for those two items, the implements and the promotes, to actually just be in my job description, so that it works together.
Yeah.
I'm fine with those two items, I just need them to be in the job description, so that it
100%.
coordinates.
That's fine.
Yep.
That's an easy switch.
That's easy.
And again,
Okay.
promotes digital literacy and online resources. You don't need that defined in your job. Your job is that you're offering the services that the community needs.
Well, if
We've
we're
already
gonna-
said that in the job
But if
description.
we're gonna measure it, we need to have it, her point is, if we're gonna measure it, we need to have it
Okay.
in there someplace.
I'm fine with that. If you're all fine with that, just figure out how you're gonna word it, yeah. Okay?
Yep, just take
Right.
those two bullets and put them in the,
I
put
think
them in
that's-
the,
That's
I think that
where
works,
just
makes the most
Yeah.
sense, just to
Just copy and
use
paste.
these two again right here,
add
then they match.
to
Yeah.
management.
See?
Copy,
Yeah.
Control V.
Okay?
Okay. Got that?
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, now, this overall performance and comments is basically, you know, every trustee would fill this out. And it's what they see as the strengths and the areas of improvement, goals for next year, okay? Where they suggest goals, you know, and then additional comments. And the overall performance rating is measured by this Rubicon, and
Maybe call it
did I say the wrong thing?
Rubicon, yes, it's not
That's a G.
It's a rubric. It's a rubric.
Anyway, so I'm not gonna address those because I have no idea what they, you know. Maybe Christine should do that, I think she developed that, right?
Well,
What?
it basically just breaks down each section and, for example, like leadership and management, excellence is consistently leads with clear vision and motivation, staff are highly engaged. So that would be under excellent.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
basically it's just,
It's,
it's a
defines-
reference
Yeah.
of what you
Yeah.
would,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
numbers 1 to 5.
okay, sounds good. Jan?
So I don't think this is limited to the board members doing this. I think that Erin should be doing this too, coming into the evaluation. That she would also look at this to say what she feels her rating is and what her strengths are and what her areas for improvement. I mean, that's a normal part of evaluation is I look at myself and say, here's the things that I did really great and here might be an area I need to improve on. So I would think
You're
that's something
saying
she
that
would
one
do too.
sheet of paper,
Just section 5.
Yes,
It's
just
not just
that.
limited to
we
the board of trustees.
we provide
right?
Erin for feedback, for her to have feedback on that.
Right, but I'm
right?
saying she also
I'm saying
provides feedback to
she's
us.
she's giving feedback by filling it out and giving it to us. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so she
We're
provides.
filling it out and giving it to her, and she's filling out one and giving it to us.
Correct.
Okay? Do you,
I understand that.
yeah,
Is this the only thing that I'm giving you, or am I giving you what I've traditionally given you in the past, which is a breakdown of the year of my accomplishments?
We
I
have-
wanna know what the expectation
okay,
of the board is
we
for me.
have that, and we.
I understand
we
you
should
have that, but am I
continue
doing
with
that going forward? I understand to fill this out, which I have
I
no
think
problem.
you should continue with that because it gives us an idea of what you've been doing.
Okay,
And, we take it for what it is, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, I would suggest continue. I
Okay.
actually have last year's and this year's, and I was comparing what, the differences and stuff, over the 2 years. So, yeah, no, you should continue to do
Christine
that.
has a question.
I'm sorry,
I
yes.
just wanted to make a comment that a lot of that stuff just seems like it's stuff that
It's in the
her
report.
day-to-day job description, it doesn't necessarily help with this. Do you know what I mean?
Well, doesn't it? Because then if we don't know day to day which of those things she does, it outlines it for us.
I mean,
You know what?
she's welcome to do it, I mean.
I see both sides. I can see, like, I might look at it and say, well, that doesn't matter because that's should be the way she's conducting. And she would look at it and say, oh, this is wonderful. The thing is that every individual trustee has a different perspective. And so this actually,
No, I understand, I'm
Yeah.
just the point that, I went to X amount of G-Milks meetings.
yeah,
I mean,
well, that
that's-
answers to me representing the library.
Right, but
How
I
would
mean,
you know that if you
because you give us your report saying that you went to.
But this is just a summary of that, so you don't have to go through every 12 months of
And-
reports.
and
But
quite
that's fine, and
frankly,
like I said,
quite frankly, in the last, 6 months, we haven't even.
Since March.
Since March, we haven't gone over that report.
but
We have
Because
gotten
we,
it.
huh?
We
We've
have
gotten,
gotten it.
we
Yeah.
haven't gone over it because we haven't had time, yes,
But
you know.
we have the ability to read it, and I have.
Mhm.
But that's fine, if
Yeah,
people find it
Because
helpful, then they-
obviously, some people are gonna use it as a tool and other people are not.
That
That's
also
fine.
allows her to do the reflection herself.
Yes,
That we want
yeah,
her to do.
exactly.
So
So
that
I
actually
think
would
it
be
should
a
continue,
positive.
and then it's, and everyone takes it for what it's worth, right?
Right.
To them.
Yep.
Okay, so,
So, are we approving just both of these did the board approve anything? Okay, I just didn't. I
with
want-
these changes made that we approved, I think we're ready to just approve both documents. Any comments on that, Jan?
I would like to make a motion that with the changes, that we have made, during this discussion and, we approve the library, job description, September 2025 version, with changes, and the, draft, Londonderry Leach Library, yearly performance review form, with the changes,
Second?
Second,
Okay,
Beth Randall.
roll call?
Well, we have the discussion.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, anyone want, we wanna have discussion?
I just had a quick question.
Yeah,
When are these effective?
I think next year, right?
when are these effective? Let me answer that
Because
question.
the
If
only
it's-
reason, I'm also asking,
No.
the second part to that is, we've discussed all these changes, we've gone through all these changes. Who is making the changes on these forms, and is the board gonna see those final drafts?
Hopefully.
So, I guess then my second part would be, when are these effective?
Yeah, and what I would say to you, if we've changed your routine that you were not, that you've never done before, then we couldn't evaluate that. But if it's something like, it's common sense that that's what you should be doing, type of thing, and we've always, had that expectation, then we could vote on that.
But then you're potentially not using the full job description or the full evaluation if you're only doing what it is, right? Am I correct on, is that what the intent then is?
The intent is to use the documents, but if it's things that you have not been told is your job or your responsibility, at that point, we can't judge you on if you didn't do it if we didn't tell you. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but then it's not a complete evaluation.
I think that we use these documents and these changes moving forward. I think that we use the job description and the rubric that we had in place to evaluate her in now evidently October, the whatever, that we've been putting off for months, that we use the documents.
So you're suggesting you don't want to use these documents?
That's
for the
correct, not for this
Yeah.
year's evaluation.
Well, hang on, Jan?
Well, I could see it both ways, from the standpoint that, since this is an, transitionary period,
Yeah,
that you could use the final one, we could just make note, not applicable, here's the ones that are not applicable. I mean, we could go through and say these weren't applicable,
we
and.
could, excuse me for interrupting you, but then to her point, then it's not a complete evaluation.
But it is a complete evaluation.
Not really.
It is if it's not a complete evaluation, with designating which ones aren't required for the current one, then why wouldn't we wanna use the most?
I don't understand why we would rush to use something that we just spent 3 hours
But it's
talking
not that we
about.
haven't had any information on
And
this
that
ahead of
we've,
time.
There's not that much change in here from what the daily the daily workload is.
I would
Beth.
suggest that we stay with what we
Yeah,
have.
I think,
Hang on.
a couple points. We have, can I just hold this up as a display? We have a lot of
Changes.
stuff. So we can approve, and we should approve tonight, the changes that we made,
Right.
but also recognize that someone's gonna have to physically go through and make those changes. We're gonna also have, as a board, to go back and double check on our own time even, to make sure that those changes are accurately reflected. And again, none of that's gonna be done by the time we do her evaluation in 7 days.
I mean, yeah, it's a week later.
We're not gonna have this produced and read and revised by everybody in time.
Right.
Why don't we just use the standing documents, the ones that she's been working off of, and then
Use this one
after
week.
next week,
Boom.
this is in effect
In
for the
place.
next 12 months. Like, it just, that's common sense. That saves us from being, unethical, and it gives her the confidence of her evaluation is gonna reflect what she has seen on the books for 12 months.
I would ask that if the board does decide to use these items, that you should check with the lawyer.
Well, that was gonna be my next perspective, that all of these changes need to get run through the attorney.
No, I think we cannot, this is my opinion, I don't think we can run every document that we produce or whatever
It's a
through the.
significant one.
So, I agree, but I think that anytime we have any changes, and to Beth's point, we just held this all up, right, with all these changes that need to go through the attorney. Anything that has to do with personnel, admin time, time off, time in, time out, raises, what we adjust, vacations, benefits, anything should go through the attorney. And we've made some changes here tonight, so
Yeah,
of
I
course
mean,
they should go through the
10:20,
attorney.
and we're tired. We might have made a mistake. We have to go through and create this document. This document does not exist. It is pages and
Well,
pages
this
of
is
writing.
also my notes of it,
Right,
there's
but
also an electronic notes, but
But
anyway.
it doesn't exist
Okay.
yet. It's still.
I think we have differing opinions here. We need to have an emotion and take a vote, decide where the board wants to go. because I personally think we should be using these new documents. We spent months, they've been on the books for months, on the website for
We
months,
spent 2 hours.
you know?
Well,
That-
correct, Liz, but we haven't made any changes until this evening. And we've been pushing off Erin's evaluation for months, that I will agree with.
We've already done her such a great disservice by not having her evaluation done in a timely manner. Can we just give her the decent thing of giving her, I don't wanna put myself in a position where I have to now talk to an attorney to justify why did I do an evaluation that did not reflect 12 months of her work. I don't want that. I don't wanna have to pay for a lawyer. It's silly. I mean, you're in your retirement years. I don't think you wanna have to pay for a lawyer to justify what we have done to someone's career. This is her job. Like, if I were in her position, I would be calling a lawyer and saying, tell you what, if they don't evaluate me ethically with the documents that have been on the books for 12 years, I would call a lawyer. And if I were Erin, that's what I would be doing. And as a board member, I don't want to have to call a lawyer and pay for someone to represent me for not giving her the evaluation that she deserved.
Jen?
Erin, could I ask what your service date is?
My hire date was
Yes.
9/27.
Okay, so 9/27. What's today's date?
24.
24th. So
But
we're
I'm
not.
being
This is
evaluated.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Hold
sorry.
on. Hold on. The statement was made by Beth that we've put off months and months of doing her evaluation. We have not put off months and months of doing her evaluation
Nope.
since her evaluation is due after the
She's been
27th.
asking for months.
I think
what is the form in which she will be evaluated?
Okay,
and we have not been able to give her an answer for
I think
months.
the other, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't wanna misspeak, Beth, but you might have been speaking to the fact that the discuss and approve whatever wording you could think about for director's job description and review form has been on the agenda 7 times, and has been originally started in December of 2024.
That is correct.
So I think that might be what she's speaking to, is the length of time that we've attempted to discuss this, and the fact that there was a subcommittee that was not really shared with the board, I think creates some confusion. But
This is
Okay.
not a document, this is a working document. We don't have a document yet with which to evaluate her.
Right.
This is a draft, that's all this is right now.
It's
It's
not
an
a draft
approved
on-
It
draft.
is.
It's
just
been
scribbled on
approved,
a
we
paper.
You didn't vote.
you didn't vote.
We are,
We didn't vote
We're in
yet.
discussion.
we're going to vote,
The motion
but
is-
then we're
No,
still
you're right.
voting with scrap paper. We need to put it together as a formalized document before it's official. Right now, we have scrap paper, and your version looks different from your version, it looks different from your version.
100%.
And we have to approve the final version.
I mean, can I ask a question?
Jan?
So, my comment was directed at we have not, we have not given Erin her evaluation in a timely manner. Her evaluation was due on the 27th, which happens in a couple of days, so we will miss it by a week. I'm not as concerned about a week, but it has not been months and months. Yes, has this been discussed? Yes, it has been, but we have not voted on it. But B, twice we shared the documents that Christine had brought forward from the committee, and she gathered information and wrote the information and changed information. So we did there was some transitory information before we got to here. I'm fine with however we decide to go. I would just like to vote on what we're gonna do so we can get forward and go forward. But we are within the requirements of her evaluation period.
Helen?
I just wanted to say that I feel badly that it has taken this long to get here. And going back and looking through all of the changes this board has been through since December of 2024 as well. And the way I kind of keep explaining it to people I've discussed it with is that things are intended to be taken care of, and then every month a different nuclear bomb goes off. Something else comes up, always. And that's been the pattern that's happening with us. This comes up, that comes up, this takes care of precedence, that takes precedence. And we kept pushing it off, which I totally, was wrong. But I can't, in good faith, say, I'm gonna now evaluate you on this new document next week. I don't feel comfortable with that at all, and I don't think it's ethical. I'm glad we finally it took forever. I'm glad we went through it all. I'm glad we had a good discussion. But that is, I wanna make sure I put on record my opinion.
Do we wanna look at what the evaluation sheet looks like that would be used if we go back to the old evaluation sheet?
I was actually just thinking, if we use the old evaluation sheet, we can still pull bullets from her, like her job description, what she's doing now that is in her revised job description, and use that in the existing job evaluation form. So even though it's not broken out like this, we can still look at, did she do X, Y, and Z?
Okay,
For
so we
those
can
specific
still consider the
categories.
same things, but we're gonna use that vehicle that's already existing.
I'm looking for it, I don't know if I have that
I had
printed,
I might have it.
but that was my thought. So we can
So
still
is
use
that the
the
one
old
from
one, but
last
still.
year's, is it what you're saying?
Yeah.
We can still use last
Yeah.
year's, but we can still use a lot of the same information, for discussion on her review for the previous year.
So, all right, so use her old evaluation,
Right.
okay.
Are we talking
For-
about
for-
this one right here?
Is it this one?
I think
That's the
so.
one that was used last year, yes.
Mhm.
Then
Yeah.
that's the vehicle we're looking at,
Right,
You wanna
so,
take a
okay?
yeah, can I take a look at
So-
the,
Can
do
you
I
pass
pass
it
that
down?
down?
Okay, I was just gonna read off all the
Okay.
things for
Right.
everyone, okay, so everyone can hear it at once, okay? So, all right, the first thing is under, is dependability, okay? If you want me to, I can read what it says, but it's dependability, it's discretion, Jan?
Well, if we've made the decision that we're not gonna use the new thing that we're,
We haven't made that decision yet,
I'm just saying,
yeah,
if we make that decision, then that we're not going to do this, well, it's kind of an, if we make the decision we're not gonna use this, then that's the one we're gonna use, doesn't matter what it says, right?
Right.
no,
So-
but we need to
Just
know
make sure we
if
get the
this
same
would
one.
be adequate
Is this the one
for
that-
our needs this year.
Well, it has to,
Okay.
because that's what's put on the records, is what we're
That's the one
saying.
that
So,
emailed.
do you mind reading,
Well,
continue
no,
reading?
this
Right.
is not, I just, did you
We
read
wanna
this?
do, so I would wanna hear it, would you guys wanna hear
I
it?
wanna hear it.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, dependability, discretion, public contact, initiative, cooperation, job knowledge, planning, leadership, budget administration, report preparation, presentation, safety and decision-making, and the summary. As far as I'm concerned, there's enough categories in here that we, that would be in the new one, you know what I mean? So as far as I'm concerned, there's enough stuff in here.
Right, that's what I was trying to figure out, so there is information that we just went over today that we can still pull into that.
We can cross-reference to this,
Exactly.
yes.
And Christine, I think there's nothing wrong with, we've talked about it many times before, having the goals.
Right.
Oh,
adding
yeah,
the
we're gonna
goals
add
on
that,
there.
yeah, we
Yeah,
have to add
goals,
that page
yes.
to it, yeah, okay? But that's basically, it's still got the 5 categories,
Right.
you know, and it's still gonna be judged the same way, basically,
Right.
you know?
So would it be that a review form with the new job description? Or,
No,
no, okay, sorry, I missed the beginning conversation.
Mhm.
it's gonna be this,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
May I make a point? As a supervisor, I supervise 5 employees. I would not be waiting 3 days before an employee's evaluation to actually fill out the form. So I don't think it's in best practices for you to be doing that. Just personally, that's how I supervise. And it doesn't make the expectations that like her reviews in 3 days. So you should have already started the review process.
We're getting there.
And I understand that.
And some
And
of
I'm
us
just
have.
saying,
Oh, we've
but the
been working
point
on
of the
her
meeting
review.
today
Yeah.
originally was to do her review today. So the documents wouldn't have existed anyway, but that was when you set the meeting back in August for the 24th was to do Erin's review. Because the first meeting in September got canceled, because of the lack of quorum, it bumped everything, and that's why it bumped it to October. But you should have already been working on it. So I understand that that's what we're doing here. So it just makes sense that you would use the
Yeah.
current one in place, and then the next one would go for the next year. That just makes sense as the supervisor.
I can say I've already worked on it, I have all my information already pulled together for it, so
Yeah.
regardless of what form we use,
It
I'm
just
ready
makes
for
sense
it.
to use the current one
Jen?
and stand it, and then use the next one.
Yeah, the other comment that I was gonna have was that in fact, I've been working on it too, so it doesn't matter what the form is, but, I would like to make a motion that,
We already have a motion.
right, well, you can have two motions on the floor simultaneously, but I would like to make a motion that whatever we decide for whatever's accepted, that this year's evaluation for Erin will take place on the last year's forms, with the exception of page 5, section 5, which is the goals, strengths, areas of improvement goals for next year, blah, 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 which is just kind of an overall summary that Erin can do and that we can do.
Yeah, that's not part of your review, it's what
It's
you,
part of the review, I mean,
well, yeah, it's
a
part of the
summary.
review,
Yeah.
but it's not in the measurement type
Right,
end.
correct.
It's not it doesn't go into the measurement. It's just saying what you wanna, the goals that you would like to do, you know.
Yeah, which I submitted
Yeah.
on the,
Yeah.
the pages I.
So we're gonna use this, we're gonna add that one sheet, okay? Does everyone, well, first of all, okay. Does anyone wanna make, I think, what do we have, one or two things
We have
on the
two
floor?
things.
So I'll second Jan's motion.
Okay.
Which
To-
is
to
really
use
lengthy,
this.
So say it
To
again,
use
you want
Okay.
the old form and add the last,
Yeah,
Page,
with the goals.
section 5.
the
Yes.
goals,
Section
Yeah.
5
For
from
the
the
goals,
new,
areas
from
of
the new
Section
form.
improvement and
5,
strengths.
okay.
Yeah.
and, okay, I think we've had lots of discussion. Let's call the question, the motion, okay?
On that
So-
most recent one.
The most recent one, okay? Nancy?
Nancy Hendricks, yes.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Jan McLaughlin, yes?
Beth Morocco, yes.
Maura Ryan, yes.
Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
Okay,
Okay. And
we
then
now
was-
have a vehicle.
And was there a previous one by
Yes.
Jan and Beth,
The
was that
previous
just
one
to
was
approve
approving
the other two documents?
these two documents with
Okay.
the changes
Oh, we need to do
that we've
that.
discussed,
Do you wanna amend that?
for use going forward, I
Yeah.
guess is the way
Yes,
to
yeah.
say it.
Exactly. Do we have a second on that?
Second.
Yeah, Beth had already seconded.
Oh.
Oh,
So
okay,
Jan
sorry,
seconded,
Beth.
we just need to vote.
Nancy?
If we're-
Nope, she said she seconded it.
No, I'm
Oh, yeah, but are
saying,
you ready to
roll
vote?
call. Roll call.
Sorry, Nancy Hendricks, yes.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Jan McLaughlin, yes?
Beth Morocco, yes.
Maura Ryan, yes.
Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
Okay, there we go, we got a plan. We still gotta get this up and, on the board, you know, for future, you know, all of these, things. We're using this one. Go home, spend the next week working on, I know several of us have been working on it. You now have your tool. What we'll have to do is, let's get it back up, can we get a copy of the old one?
I already sent it to you.
Electronically?
Yep,
to everyone?
I sent it to everybody.
Okay,
It's
thank
with
you.
the accomplishments list.
Okay, perfect, okay,
If we
great,
could, if
yes.
it's posted on the website?
No.
It's not posted on the, I don't post my evaluation on the website.
No, the form,
The form is not posted on the website, I emailed it
It's
to you
in your
guys.
binder.
but they've had copies of all this in the past. I mean, all this.
Well, it's been posted with corresponding documents with agendas, but I'm not gonna post it separately, is that what you're asking?
No,
I was asking, I was
is there
asking for the
some way you
blank
can
form.
just, you're saying
Yes,
it's in a,
we'll get you a
you know what?
copy.
I did
yes.
email it to you all, but it is on some agendas that have been posted in the past. Yes.
Okay,
Is that the question?
Jan, I can make you a copy if you need
No,
one.
no,
and
I was,
give it
no,
to you.
I was just.
is there anyone who can send me all of us an
Yes.
electronic
No.
copy? That's
She's
all.
already
Erin
sent
already
it.
did. Erin
I
already
can
did.
send it again, but I did send it.
Yes, yeah, I
Okay.
know.
That wasn't what I was asking.
Oh,
oh, what
What I
were
was
we-
asking was, are we going to make that the job description, the previous job description, the current job, whatever we're evaluating her on next week, available to the public or not. That's all.
It'll be with the agenda for next week, cause it's happening at next week's meeting, if that's, if,
Okay,
is
so
that
there,
okay?
there wouldn't be, since that's a blank form, since that's a form that's already exists, there wouldn't be any problem with putting that up.
The blank form could go up, no problem, just
Right,
like-
that's all I'm talking
Yep,
about is the blank form. I'm
yep,
not talking
yeah.
about the evaluation filled in.
Yep, no, yeah,
That's all.
yep.
And what job description are we gonna post?
On the attack.
I'm assuming it's the most current one that I've been working with, not the one that you just
Yeah.
approved.
I would
So-
even just, if we just had the form up there, at least they would see that
Okay.
that's what we're gonna
All
use.
right.
Okay,
Um,
so
and
just
I would
one
be-
form.
I would be fine
Everyone's
with
good?
that.
All right,
Could I just
questions?
clarify, is that
Yeah.
going in the policies and form page or attached document?
No, it's gonna be attached to the agenda for next week.
Yes, I know.
Okay,
Yep.
that's all I was asking, I just wanted.
We gotta do this real quick,
Clarify.
5
We have an
minutes, not
agenda
even.
for next week already
Okay.
posted.
I'm
No,
sorry, we need
Liz is
to-
working on it, I don't do the agenda.
We need
No,
to
no,
move on really quick, cause we need to get through some
And
stuff,
we are gonna
okay?
need to just have that finalized document to just review and move forward so that we can.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we have to do a final review and draft,
And
yeah.
any documents people create, can we please date them, because it's really crazy trying to go through all these documents
I
without
agree.
dates.
Okay, all right. Lost my
10
agenda.
pounds of paper here.
Here we go. Okay. Can I get yours?
Yep.
Yep, thanks. Okay, the next thing we have is, we're gonna talk about, this is gonna be 2 minutes hopefully, review the banking decision. Do you wanna explain?
Sure.
Yep, go ahead. Where we're at.
So, when I went back to St. Mary's, they decided that we needed to be on a list that required us to have a nonprofit status, filed for the library, which since we're a governmental body is not appropriate, and I spoke with the, Secretary of State's office, and they said no, towns and cities and their committees don't fill that out. So, it was a kind of a stalemate. They needed us to be on a form that we couldn't become on without us changing our status. So, the next option would be to go to TD Bank, which is where the town has gone, because TD Bank already has all the documentation from the town. We're gonna be using the town's EIN number, and, so that's kind of that. Has it happened yet? No, we're still, trying to get all the particulars that they want, ahead of time. Will there be 2 signatures on a check? Will there not? I don't know. But anyway, that should be finished out before the 1st of the month. Hopefully by next week I'll be able to say, here's your account numbers, blah, blah, blah. But it would be at TD Bank. Just as we said before, there is money in the account to pay for anything that we need to have paid for, up to that period, and we'll let you know when there's not money, but we'll be transferring, money from the current accounts to,
The
that
same
account
plan.
once they're open.
Yeah, we're gonna follow the same plan that we had set up and
It's
that
just
we
a
had
different
voted
bank.
on. Okay, with a different bank. And, go ahead, Beth.
Can I ask, Erin, has this banking thing caused any upheaval for you guys?
We have about 15 mostly personal checks that need to be deposited that have been sitting around for 2.5 months. We have, over $1,000 in cash in a lockbox that needs to be deposited, and some of those checks are from personal patrons and some of them are from other libraries. So it has caused some issues with that.
Okay,
So-
can I ask the board then, when did we know that we had a banking problem, and why are we waiting until the end of August to talk about it? I'm just,
For September.
End of
end of September, sorry, I don't know when we are.
Confused.
We discussed that there was a problem, some meeting, and,
No,
well,
You mean in July, when we
Yeah,
first found out?
in July.
Yeah,
Yes.
That there was a problem, but we said that there was gonna be, that Aaron should just continue to use the existing
Yes, yeah,
accounts.
yeah.
No, you told us not to make any deposits after
No.
that date.
But then when there was a problem with St. Mary's, I called, I came in, you can still use the existing accounts, I said that right along.
No, you told me I can spend from the town accounts. You never told me I can make deposits back into Citizens. You told me I could use the town accounts to buy books, and that when the new accounts were established, we could then go back to doing that. But you never told me I could make deposits, and that's why we've held on to deposits. The last time,
okay.
The last time was the meeting where, I believe it was July, where I was not present, where you told my staff that they couldn't make deposits after a certain date. And Donna made those deposits right before that date, and then we have not made any deposits since then. Because we were still under the impression that we were moving to St. Mary's, and I had not heard any updates
Well,
since then.
I had come in several times and spoken with you, as well as other people on the staff, to make sure that it was clear that you could still, I've come in and asked, do you want me to sign any checks? No,
Right.
we don't have any checks to sign.
Right, we don't,
blah,
because we
blah,
haven't been spending out of that account. The only time you would, I would have you, I'm sorry, Jan,
Okay.
I'm trying to
blah.
explain to
Okay,
you.
that's
Can
fine.
I
Okay.
interrupt?
It's fine.
Sure.
Okay, there was obviously a miscommunication. What does it matter? What we need to do is now get to that, sign up for the bank, get it all. We're coming forward here to get the board permission to basically use the only bank that's available for us right now.
So-
Because we're falling under the umbrella of the town, okay? Because before we were under the umbrella of the town with the current bank, and now they've left, okay? So that's basically what we're saying. We've already voted because of the company that we were doing, and they weren't verifying signatures and et cetera. We've already voted to move the money.
Well, we
Now
voted to
we're-
move it
what,
to St. Mary's.
huh?
We voted to move it to St. Mary's.
Okay, and now then we're making a motion to move it to,
But here's the thing, I mean, this has been in process since July the 9th.
and then why are you
This is-
still trying to delay it right
I'm
now?
not. I'm not. I'm suggesting that it should never have taken this long. The board has never been involved. The board has never been advised that there was a problem. This is the first time hearing officially that there was a problem at St. Mary's Bank. Why didn't we know? We should have known weeks ago. It would have been appropriate at that point for you to say, oh my God, we gotta have a meeting. We gotta move this money. You know, we've been to how many urgent meetings? So I'm sorry. I'm having some trouble with this, and I'm not delaying it. But the correct and the appropriate, transparent way to do this would be by consensus this evening to authorize Jan to go and get information from TD Bank and bring it back and officially put that we are making a vote to move our money to TD Bank next week. That would be the transparent way of doing this. This is a mess. And we've been hearing rumors that we're going to a different bank, and I'm like, well, is someone gonna dial the board in at some point? You know, we are a board. This is our fiduciary and, financial responsibility. So yes, we have to know these things.
Okay, Nancy,
Yes.
I didn't see anything that I said that you said different.
Then let's have a consensus and we'll send Jan to the bank.
That's all I'm asking for. That is all I'm asking for.
Let's do it.
I don't want Jan going to the bank until we have a consensus.
And hopefully we can move this along. I mean, we have to all agree
Yeah.
that it should not take 3 months to open a
No,
bank account.
obviously, yes, yeah.
So
And
let's
the problem
roll.
was working with the Secretary of State,
I'm sure.
and
Sure.
my husband said, honey, I talk to him all the time, why don't you just tell me, I would've had it for you, But I keep this business
understand.
separate from
I
my
understand.
husband's business, so that's just, but yes, we're on the same page.
Okay.
We recognize we have a problem, we want to fix it and move on.
And you know what, and moving forward, if we bump into another problem anywhere, just,
We need to be more
We're all
transparent.
adults about this, for God's
Yeah.
sakes, you're right. We are always criticized by members of the public that we are not transparent. And we've been criticized by some of our own board members
Yeah.
that we are not transparent. This has not been transparent at all.
Okay, thank you. I recognize that, and I say you
And-
have a point.
And I agree. Let's
And
gain
let's move on.
consensus and get
Let's
to the
move
bank
on.
and let's roll.
I'm sorry, everyone's got their hand up. I guess they don't want to move on. Yes, Beth, you were the first one.
I'm happy to move on, choose another bank, make that vote. But if we are gonna sit here month after month and talk about the board has authority to this and authority to that, then we need to start doing our job. We have not seen a financial statement in 5 months. And we did not know that our banking system is holding up Erin and people with their private checks can't even balance their own books. Like, we need to start taking some accountability on the board, because we do a whole lot of finger pointing around here and we are not taking ownership. It's okay to make a mistake. I make them every time I fall down the stairs. You know, like, you just make mistakes. It is human nature. But we cannot keep pretending that we are this moral authority with all of these rights and privileges and power, and we can't self-reflect and say, oh my gosh, we keep making the same mistakes over and over again. But we do not have the self-reflection to make an assessment and make a change. And honestly, if the treasury stuff is too hard for one person, then we need to make a plan together to delineate it out, because we cannot go 6 months, 7 months with no direction.
Treasurer's report, we haven't had treasurer's report.
I have sent numerous emails just to find out how much did we pay for a professional secretarial service. It was so easy to come up with that number, but I didn't have the number, and I need Jan to be able to respond to an email. And I don't want to embarrass you or put you on the spot, but I have been trying to communicate with you as a board member, and I'm getting nothing. And if we don't know that the banks are messed up, we need you. You are an important part of our team. Treasury is a huge responsibility, and it's okay if it's too much to say, I'm going to need some people to take on a couple things, because that's okay.
I'm sorry, Maura next.
I'll make a motion that we transition the bank account to the town bank.
No, TD.
TD Bank,
Whatever it is.
TD Bank.
Second.
Okay, can we take a roll call?
This is just consensus. We're not voting to move the money there. I'm not voting to move money there tonight. I want us by consensus to give Jan our blessing to go and gather information from TD Bank and bring it back and put it on the agenda as it should be, as an official agenda item next Wednesday. So I'm not voting to move our bank account to TD Bank.
So you can vote no, okay? We've got a motion on here, and we have a second. We need to vote on that, okay? So roll call.
Nancy Hendricks, no.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Jan McLaughlin, yes.
Beth Morocco, yes.
Maura Ryan, yes.
Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
Okay, Jan, you get it moved as soon as possible, okay?
Yep. And Aaron, just have them deposited in the current accounts. The other accounts will be kept open for at least 1 month from the time that the accounts are.
They're not gonna be closed immediately.
So
We're
I
just
can
gonna
make
move some of the
deposits
money.
into the account.
Make deposits.
Yes.
As was communicated on the,
We need to
on
communicate in
July
writing.
24th, about continuing to use the accounts until at least August. Now it's September.
Okay, here we go. We've done all that,
We have to do we should do the contract stuff, because the contract stuff.
You know what? I went through, and several of these have been approved of the minutes, not all of them, but about half of them have already been approved. So of the minutes of the meetings.
No, I don't think any of the minutes have been approved. They're all drafts right now.
They're all drafts.
When I went through the next 2 months after that, like the May 7th, it said right there that we are, in the minutes, that we approved the May 7th.
We did.
Okay?
Where did it say it for the May 7th? And what, just
I
like,
have to go back, but
Okay.
I think it was in the July minutes. I went through what I did is I put all the dates ahead, then I went through all of the things, and I said, oh, this got approved on this date at this time, okay, type of thing.
May 7th non-public, I believe, was not approved. I think it's the non-public one that hasn't been approved.
Okay.
That's the one you're referencing.
I guess,
The regular minutes were.
yeah, I guess my point is, it's 10 of 11, and I'm thinking that that's something we can move.
We could.
Or do you want, if you wanna go through all of them now, we'll go through all of them now, I don't care, you know? Jan?
I would recommend that we postpone the minutes negotiation, but that we, handle the contracts, which is time sensitive, and,
The MOA that we need to vote on?
MOA was already voted on.
Oh, that, we established it, already got voted on, okay, good.
I would ask that we please go into non-public to at least give the staff member who's been waiting for her merit increase, approval hopefully by the board. That was supposed to be done at the beginning of September.
okay, we can do that.
And then the
Okay,
board wanted to see resumes,
yeah,
but
we need to go into non-public, okay?
Okay, but I would like us to approve the contract for
Yep.
ProQuest.
I
Yeah,
agree.
let's do that first. And we, so we're agreeing to defer the minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, do you want me to just go right into the contracts?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. They are in your packet, there's just two this month. The first one is US Major Dailies, it's an electronic database, with newspapers. That one is, I believe, let me just double check. $1,696.33, it's an annual fee. And then the other one is from McIntyre Image, that's for the staff, it's a laminator that the staff uses, it's down here in one of our storage units, or storage closets, excuse me. And that's also for a 1 year, time frame for $479. So those are the two contracts I'm asking for approval.
And those come right out of the,
They come up,
the equipment? No,
Can I ask about the laminator? So the $479 is for supplies and materials?
no, that's just a service, it's like a maintenance agreement. So any supplies or materials we have to purchase, but when did we last purchase? It comes on a big roll, so it's been a while since we've had to purchase, the material.
It lasts at least a year and a half.
Yeah. So depending on how much we laminate. But this is
And
just a maintenance
When
agreement.
have we had, how often have we had to have repairs on?
The maintenance just keeps the machine up to standard so it lasts longer. Our previous one lasted a good 20 years, so we wanna try to keep it as long as possible.
They are temperamental creatures too.
I think it makes sense to have a service agreement.
Well,
You know.
I just was thinking that the costs of the laminators have come down.
This is a larger one.
Yeah,
And
it's a
It's
industrial
not like a
yeah.
desktop, it's a larger one on its own,
big roll.
on its own stand, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and
Like an industrial size.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
2 feet, does 24-inch wide.
Okay.
And they'll maintain the rollers and make sure everything's still
Yep.
in functioning capacity.
Jen, you said
Break all
so? Yep,
So that
okay,
sounds good.
okay, I think we're ready. We all agree?
I'll make a motion to accept both contracts and approve both contracts.
Second.
Roll call.
Nancy Hendricks, yes.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Jan McLaughlin, yes.
Beth Marco, yes.
Maura Ryan, yes.
Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, I found it.
Um,
Okay,
what was the other thing that we were?
Non-public.
Oh,
hang on, let me see. Oh,
we don't have any unanticipated funds, so we don't need to worry about that.
okay, we don't have to do that, so we need to go into non-public session, in accordance with RSA 91-A:3, 11, and it's C and B. Okay, so there's two things we're doing, C and B. All
We need to
set?
vote. We need to vote.
Huh?
We need to vote.
We need to
go
vote.
into non-public
I
session.
make a
Yes,
I make
yes.
a motion that we go into non-public session at 10:51 PM.
Second.
Okay,
Nancy Hendricks, yes.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes?
Jan McLaughlin, yes.
Beth Marco, yes.
Maura Ryan, yes.
Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
Okay, could we just,
Yep, we've got a,
So I'd like to
Exactly.
make a
I
motion
missed
to
her.
go back into public, please.
Second.
okay. Roll call,
Nancy Hendricks, yes.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes?
Jan McLaughlin, yes.
Beth Marco, yes.
Maura Ryan, yes.
Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
Okay,
And we're not doing, no public comment, just to double check, right?
Yeah, no, we didn't
Okay.
have public comments down here.
Okay.
I think we've deferred the minutes, and, I will go and confirm which ones were, which ones and when we approve
Okay.
them,
I'll look
okay?
too.
That gives me the time. And then the other thing is, I guess, I feel bad, we never do staff reports, but, it's kind of,
Well, we have the information, we
Yeah.
can read them.
yeah.
I normally read it.
Yeah, we do.
Not the same.
But it would be helpful
I think
for the public to hear
we can
them.
get it back in, we gotta get back in the routine.
Yeah.
We will get back in.
Okay, Nora?
I just a question on the meeting minutes. I did write out a number of changes. Is there some way to submit changes so that next time we can just approve them? Because there were grammatical, spelling, identification, etc. errors.
Yeah, I had some changes too.
And I had changes on the non-public one, or additions to the non-public one, and I don't know who put together that one.
Motion to.
Do you
So,
make the changes on documents?
should we
I
actually,
I can't change the documents that the professional service did.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think you can.
It's their,
Well, the professional
Yeah.
service wouldn't have done the non-public one anyway.
well, they wouldn't, from May on, we were doing our own.
No. She quit in June, the end of June.
But she still didn't do the non-public one, is
Right,
what
so
I'm
the
saying.
non-public is one sheet with like a sentence.
Well, that's why I
Yeah,
needed
I
to
don't
keep
have
on.
that.
you'd actually have to produce a new document and amend it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
I don't
an
have.
amended
Who did
document.
the original
Those-
one? It had to be one of us.
Do you
Right,
know
but
what
I
month it
don't
was
have it,
from?
it's in a locked box.
Do you know what month it was from?
Yeah, it was May 7th. It was the non-public from May 7th.
I'll have to look.
I would ask that whatever minutes finally get approved, whether at least for public, we need to be able to post those on the website as not a draft, and those also have to be sent to the clerk's office. And then for non-public, we do need to have those so I can seal them in an envelope and put them in the file cabinet. So eventually, I need copies that are not drafts of any minutes. So that's all I'm asking.
Well, I would think if we have if we have documents that are not correct, they should be corrected,
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
so,
Who's gonna do it is the question.
it's just I guess, let's talk, we're gonna have to talk about this at the next meeting, just the
Okay.
discussion, okay? Instead of procedure up, okay, so to take care of it.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Nancy Hendricks, yes.
Helen Palmieri, yes.
Liz Thomas, yes.
Jim McLaughlin, yes.
Martha, yes.
More Ryan, yes.
Christine Fitzgerald, yes.
I'm gonna be home before midnight.